So the one hero destined to save the world. Yeah, he decides to join the demon army the second he gets isekai'd. All thanks to a major screw-up by some goddess. This dude was supposed to land in the noob village, but instead he gets dropped right into the Demon King's freaking headquarters. And to make things worse, he's face to face with the strongest guy there. But he's totally clueless, cause the goddess promised him his first stop would be a chill starter zone full of total pushovers. So our hero just goes for it and attacks. Eat this, you level 1 tutorial mob. But yeah, it didn't exactly go as planned. He gets totally wrecked. Next thing he knows, he's tossed in a cell. But he's not giving up, screaming his head off that he wants a rematch with the Minotaur. All that racket ends up grabbing the attention of the HQ's second-in-command, a guy named Gobzo. Gobzo just casually rests his massive sword on the floor, and the clang is so loud it almost gives our hero a heart attack. Whoa, okay, that's a real sword. Guess I'll just, shut up now. Gobzo just turns and leaves. One more peep out of you, human, and you're my next meal. After he's gone, Il just slumps to the floor, totally confused, because the goddess swore this new world would be a total cakewalk, like zero danger, and he'd even be chilling with the village chief's 18 daughters. Plot twist, the goddess was lying through her teeth the whole time. She was just trying to hit her monthly quota for isekai'd souls. While Il is trying to process all this, a voice suddenly whispers from the next cell over, "Yo, you the new hero." Il snaps back, asking who he is. "I'm a hero too, dude. Welcome to the slave dungeons in the Demon King's castle." Il is totally shook, but what the guy says next is even crazier. The hero in the next cell gets this crazy smirk on his face and then just bellows, "Hey yo, all you so-called heroes, any of you still kicking?" And just like that, the whole dungeon just explodes with noise. S-rank hero here, still breathing. "Me too." The other hero just smirks, all proud. "See, there are over 100 of us heroes stuck in here. The big boss is a minotaur named Ludren, and his number 2 is Gobzo. They're both seriously bad news." Then the hero's voice cracks. "This whole mess we're in, it's all because of that witch, Rachel." Il's jaw just drops. Rachel, wait, isn't that the goddess's name? The other hero explains that they were all supposed to start out in a city, but because Rachel totally messed up, they got zapped to the wrong spot. And since they were all basically level 1 with no skills, they couldn't even fight back. Talk about the worst starting zone ever. The next day he finds out what real misery feels like. Not only is he doing free labor for the Demon King, but it gets worse. When the day's over, Gobzo uses Il as his personal ride. "Back to your cells, slaves. Oh, you stumpy little goblin, just you wait. One day I'm gonna wreck you." Back in the dungeon, Il is totally wiped. But after catching his breath for a sec, he remembers the goddess mentioning something about heroes getting a special status, window perk, so he quickly pulls it up. Checking it out, his stats look way better than your average Joe's. But then again, he was the boxing champ of the universe, so that kinda makes sense. Endurance, 31. That one line makes the hero in the next cell totally freak out. "No way, you have 31 endurance at level 1, no? Yeah, and I'm still a slave." Il is so over it, but the other guy is convinced. He's special. "Dude, you're definitely gonna bust out of here and be a real hero." But this whole pep talk just makes Il want to tap out. Later that night, he sneaks a look at his status window again just to see if he missed something. After scrolling for a bit, he spots a new thing. What are hero points? He remembers asking the other hero about it, and the guy had no idea what he was talking about. Wait, am I like the actual asterisk, chosen one? Just as he's thinking, a bright flash cuts him off. Long time no see, Hiro-kun. And guess who it is? The goddess, Rachel. Allow me to explain what those hero points are for. They're the secret to building the ultimate hero. But even with her trying to be all helpful, Il just completely loses it. "I don't give a crap about hero points. First, I'm gonna mess you up." A few moments later, the goddess is on the ground begging him to stop. "I'm so sorry, I had no idea that spilling a tiny bit of coffee on the magic circle would mess up your teleportation so bad. The head gods found out, and now my punishment is to be your personal support goddess until you defeat the Demon King. You're a triple S rank hero, so this should be a piece of cake for you." But Il could not care less. Forget defeating the Demon King or whatever. He'd rather just stay here and live a normal, chill life. Back in his old life as a boxing champ, he fought 24/7 and still died alone. I am so done with all the fighting. The goddess is totally floored, because if he doesn't finish the mission, she's stuck here forever. Just as she's about to try and argue with him, a noise outside the cell door makes Il freak out. He yanks the goddess close and shushes her. Hey, don't worry about me. I can go invisible, duh. After hearing that, Il lets her go and looks at the door. And of course, it's the second-in-command, Gobzo. Mr. Ludren wants a word with you. And with that, he drags Il off to an office. Turns out Gobzo was bragging to the boss about his new ride, Il, and how hard he works, which made Ludren curious. Wait, that stumpy little monster actually said something good about me. Yo, one day I'm gonna totally wreck you, but low-key, you're a hard worker, so I'm making you head slave. Music. Hearing this, the goddess is like, completely shook. Is this dude seriously trying to steal my guy? You're gonna say no, right? Like shut him down ASAP. A hero can't just kneel for the demon army. But of course, Il just gives this evil smirk, drops to his knees, and totally bows down. Thanks, boss. I won't let you down. Nice. I'm starting to vibe with you. Ludren gives a satisfied nod. 3 days later, Il is officially on the job. Move it faster. My grandma could run laps around you guys. Nobody leaves till this is done. He's totally loving his new gig. Insane laughter. Being the slave boss is so lit. Everyone down below is just staring completely floored. Like, has this dude lost it? I heard he was supposed to be a hero. Can you even Il's whole vibe is way too much even for the goddess Rachel, who's watching? Are you out of your mind? If you keep this up, we are so screwed. But Il just totally ignores her. You have no clue what my master plan is? Little bird. Hey, you. What are you doing on the floor? Trying to cosplay as a turtle. Get up and get to work now. After totally grinding the slaves, he makes sure to salute Ludren's office. Thank you, sir. I'll keep up the grind. This whole act makes the goddess rage quit, and she just starts nagging him 24/7 about what a hero is supposed to do, until Il's ears are literally about to fall off. So he just pulls up the hero menu. Because some total idiot messed up, you got zapped into the Demon King's basement. Current quest. Get on the good side of Demon Officer Ludren. See, I'm just doing my mission. Get it. But the goddess is not buying it at all. Even back in the slave pit, she's convinced he's capping. Il has finally had enough and just grabs her. Who do you think is the moron who got me stuck in here in the first place? After that little music reality check, the goddess finally chills out and even stops bugging him during work. Wait, is that for real, his mission? Only the big bosses can switch up the quests. So why would they do that? While the goddess is trying to figure it all out, Gobzo shows up. Mr. Ludren wants a word. Getting the summons, Il bounces over to the office, super happy. And after just 2 days on the job, Il's hustle finally gets a thumbs up from the commander. Good work, kid. Seeing the guy blushing, Il is totally caught off guard. So he jumps in before Ludren gets any weirder and snaps a salute. Sir, can I get permission to train the slaves? I'm dead set on building you an elite squad where one person does the work of 3. We'll have the Demon King's castle done in a week. At first, Ludren's not sold on it, 'cause humans are kind of fragile, to train and work at the same time. Music. But since it's him asking, Ludren is totally on board. Thanks, boss, with the green light, Il bolts back to the slave pens. But the second he gets there, the goddess Rachel just starts bawling. My hero has completely lost it. He's not just bowing to the demon army, he's helping them push around his own people. How am I supposed to deal with this? All the drama is getting on Il's last nerve, so he finally just spills the tea. Look, I'm not trying to be an enemy of humanity, okay? My plan is to use the slaves to start a legit rebellion. Il's done the math. This castle has a solid 3,000 slaves, but only 500 demon soldiers. Plus there's a human base not too far away, which will be the perfect spot to crash after we break out. Il lays it all out so perfectly that even the goddess who never trusted him looks kinda impressed. Huh. Guess my hero isn't just some brainless jock after all. So for finishing the quest to get on Ludren's good side, Il scores 100 hero points. All right, let's see what goodies are in the hero shop. He says totally hyped as he opens it up, but the stuff inside is a total joke. F-rank skill, hold your breath. Description lets the hero hold their breath. He thought that was lame, but as he keeps scrolling, he realizes he was being way too optimistic. F-rank item, dog poop. Description, please just take it. Seeing this, the goddess just loses it. Hey, don't sweat it. It's just a level 1 shop. If you can level it up to 2, you'll get way better stuff. Like bigger piles of poop. Hold up, you said this was gonna make me the ultimate hero. Anyway, it officially starts training the slaves. The next day, it's like, all right, first up, let's go over our 3rd Legion motto, and begin. We are the awesome demon army. Let's crush the humans. Hype us up. Ludren's watching all this from his tower. Nice. Looks like the kid didn't let me down. But just as he's feeling all proud, his second-in-command Gobzo bursts in totally freaking out. This is so not good. The human army is heading straight for us. The 8th Division got totally wiped out. It's only a matter of time before they're here. Ludren is super bummed about ditching the fortress when it's almost done, but he can't argue with Gobzo being so serious. We have to bounce like right now. After hearing that, Ludren looks down below. He knows that, since like forever the whole point of war has been about snagging loot, and for Ludren, the best treasure here is no cap ill. You guys fall back first. I'll grab ill and catch up. After saying that, he just kicks the window wide open. And of course, El sees the whole thing go down. Welp, looks like combat training is cancelled for today. That dude's been watching us this whole time. Just then, Ludren lands right behind him and gently turns him around. Yo, ill no time. We gotta bounce. Wait, bounce where? Ill's totally lost. But while they're beefing, the human army just rolls up on them. Get 'em! The commander shouts. The showdown between humans and demons kicks off, but the commander immediately spots Ludren just chilling on the sidelines. The Red Nightmare is right there. Taking him out is priority number 1. And it all just clicks for ill. The human army is going all in. Asterisk, asterisk. Maybe this is my chance, ill thinks. If I just shank Ludren in the back, I can bounce back to human society like a total hero. But right as ill is plotting his move, some human knight comes charging in at full speed, but Ludren just casually reaches out and straight up crushes the guy's skull. And then something even more messed up happens. He snags the knight and just slams him into the ground hard. The shockwave literally wipes out almost all the humans there, and the first thing he does after all that is slowly turn his head to look at ill. You. Music. Good. Freaking out, ill immediately snaps a salute. Sir, I'm totally fine. I'll fall back right now. Even though Ludren just soloed a whole human squad, they still decide to dip because of backup coming. Asterisk, asterisk. Welp, my adventure's over. My second life is toast. Ill is just shook. He never thought this dude would be so OP that with one hit, he completely nuked his dream of ever going home. Hey, look on the bright side. Hitting up the Demon Army HQ is a chance to scope out their military power, right? Shut up, you're such a liar. Ill is so over this so-called goddess's nonsense, but their bickering wakes up a sleeping Ludren. Did you say something? I was kinda zoned out. Ill quickly waves his hands like, nope, not at all. I was just saying how stoked I am to be with you, sir. Hearing that, Ludren's face totally lights up and he gets this wild idea. When we get to HQ, I'm going to officially put you up for the Demon Army. Ill is instantly frozen. This pretty much means his chances of ever escaping are 0. It would be my honor. 5 hours later, their ride rolls up to the Demon Army headquarters. First thing after they hop out, Ludren gets ready to take Ill to meet the big boss, even though he knows it's a bit out of line. He's dead sure. The commander will totally vibe with this kid. But you gotta watch your mouth a little, or you, music, might get yourself yeeted from existence. Soon enough, they're outside the main hall. Commander Hermes, it's me, Ludren. The second he says that, a soft female voice comes from inside. Come on in. After getting music, the green light, Ludren walks in, and like a total pro, takes the L for losing the fortress. But Hermes isn't buying it. She thinks it's the supply guy's fault. If we weren't short on materials, the castle would have been finished. I'll go ahead and get a body bag ready for him. As she's talking, Hermes lets out this seriously terrifying aura that makes it impossible for Ill to breathe, and even his body starts to instinctively freak out. What is this crazy pressure? It's stronger than anyone I've ever run into. After music, a beat, Hermes chills with the aura and notices Ill, so she asks Ludren who he is. This is the guy I told you about, Ill. I brought him to join the Demon Army. As soon as she hears that Hermes teleports right in front of Ill, At first, she seems super interested in the talent Ludren vouched for, but she also points out a tiny problem. He's human. He could totally end up as someone's snack around here. A snack ill is completely bugging out and looks at Ludren like he's his only hope. As long as I'm here, you don't have to sweat it. I'll personally train you and make you strong enough to hold your own. But Hermes shuts that idea down hard, 'cause she thinks it's a total waste for a big-shot officer like Ludren to train some random human. So she sticks her hand in her mouth and starts rummaging around like crazy. Then her body starts twisting all over the place. Finally, she hacks up this weird creature from the top of her head. From now on, you're its pet sitter. His name is Popo. Isn't he cute? Cute. Music. Cute my butt. He wants to stay a million miles away from that thing. But with Hermes giving him the death stare, he has no choice but to cave. It's my honor to look after Popo. Perfect, Hermes says, then just yeets the creature at him and drops some good news. Don't forget his meals. He gets super hangry, and when he's music hangry, he really likes to eat his sitter. And just like that, Ill is officially a member of the demon army, and at the same time he gets a heroic mission to win over Popo. Ill looks over at the sleeping Popo. Asterisk, asterisk. How the heck is this supposed to make me a hero? Right. As he's thinking that, the door to the room is suddenly thrown open, and a balding goblin waltzes in. Music. Great his Popo sitting partner. Ill tries to act friendly, but at the same time, he knows for a fact that if things get dicey, this guy will throw him to the wolves as a snack in a heartbeat. You and I need to go get Popo's dinner ready now, the balding goblin says all bossy. If you get it, then move. Before he even finishes his sentence, Popo is already awake. The balding goblin freaks out and immediately hides behind Ill. This new guy is the meal we got for you. Saying that, he tries to grab Ill to make it an easy catch for Popo. Look, one of us has to get eaten, so why not you? But the balding goblin seriously underestimated Ill's power and gets tossed across the room. Dinner time. A moment later, the sounds of Popo munching and gulping die down. But even after eating, he's not full. So now the goddess Rachel is his next target. Help me. Dude, save me, quick. As they bolt, Popo gets more and more ticked off, even starting to look at Ill, like he's a snack. Quick, gotta figure out how to chill this dog out, like now. And Bingo Ill gets a total light bulb moment. For real. No dog on earth can ignore these magic words. Wanna go outside and play. The second he hears that, Popo's eyes totally clear up. Then he just launches himself into Ill's arms, just like he thought. A moment later, Ill takes Popo outside, but they're totally clueless about where the kitchen is. But while they're just wandering aimlessly, a goblin just pops up out of nowhere. So Ill calls out, Yo dude, where's the kitchen at? The kitchen? It's over to the right. After spitting that out, the goblin just bolts without a second glance. The whole thing makes Ill just crack up. Are all the goons in the demon army this jumpy? Looks like I can totally ride this dog's coattails from now on. But right when he's feeling all proud of himself, he turns around and realizes Popo has completely vanished. Oh crap, where'd the dog go? So the two of them start searching like crazy, and luckily their hustle pays off, and they spot Popo. My guy, do you have any idea how worried I was? Ill looks down and gets a bad feeling that something is way off. Did you just snack on somebody? While Ill is totally shook, a loud scream erupts from nearby. Captain Regis has been eaten? Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Popo did it. Rachel's smile just completely vanishes. I mean, who else could it be? Ill snatches Popo and books it with the goblins, scrambling right after them. Sucks for them, their stubby little legs can't keep up with Ill. But in a super unlucky twist, Ill and his crew run straight into a dead end. They turn around to see a massive mob of goblins has them totally cornered. The human who took out the captain, you're next. Another goblin licks his chops. I hope our captain's not fully digested yet. I've always wanted to know what he tastes like. Facing this basically impossible situation, Ill suddenly gets a brilliant, crazy idea. He figures he can probably bluff his way out of this. How dare you get all up in my face? As he says this, Ill gives Popo a little shake. Do you even know who this is? This is Popo. The second he says that, the goblins on the scene almost instinctively back up. They all know exactly how scary Hermes is. This is Commander Hermes' pet. But of course there's always one dude who isn't afraid to die, thinking this human is totally capping. So Il crouches down and gives Popo's chin a few scratches. Beast mode activated. The moment he lets go, Popo lunges right at that goblin. That's what you get for being a hater. In just 15 seconds, Popo has already cleaned his plate. Anybody else not a believer? Nope. The rest of the goblins just bow down. But at that exact moment, Hermes' voice cuts in from right behind Il. I was wondering what all the racket was about. Turns out it's just a cute newbie doing something fun. And just like that, he gets called to the principal's office. After hearing the whole story, Hermes just bursts out laughing. So you were using my Popo's rep to save your own skin. Seeing her reaction, Il immediately drops to his knees to say he's sorry. But Hermes is actually totally cool with it. I guess you are still human, after all. A pretty clever one, too, Hermes says, lifting Il's chin. But you're a man. You need to learn the demon army's tradition, which is, we settle things with our fists. Hermes walks back to her seat, then hits Il with a question. Are you interested in becoming a senior officer in our army? Il is completely floored. With his weak sauce skills, the only way he could become an officer is if he, I know it's a long shot with your current power level, Hermes says, breaking down the rules for him. Demons can steal someone's rank by dueling them. You can't use my name or Popo's anymore. I know that's rough, so I'll protect you for 1 month. After 1 month, you have to beat an opponent that I choose for you. If you win, I'll keep protecting you for another month until you climb all the way up to battalion commander. Il can't help but gulp. And what if I lose? Hermes gives him a wicked grin. If you can, you'd be better off dying in the fight. Il has zero choice but to agree with Hermes. She even picked his opponent right then and there. Welp, looks like I've only got 30 days left to live. Il drags himself over to the kitchen, totally bummed, just trying to find something for Popo to eat. But when he gets to the door, he sees it's completely splattered with blood. Because of that, Il only dares to peek his head in, ready to bail at any second. Hello. Sorry to bother you. The words are barely out when a red goblin whips his head around. It's the head chef, Culkin. You must be the human the commander mentioned. Il flashes a quick, nervous smile and nods, explaining he's just there to get some chow for Popo. But the chef just shuts him down flat without even thinking. We don't have any. Il is totally shocked. I'm under no obligation to help you. Commander Hermes' only order was that we can't lay a hand on you. If you want meat, then do what we do and go hunt for it yourself. As he says this, he points to a group of goblins in the back who are carving up other goblins while happily chowing down. Yo, is this Captain Puck's meat? It's actually pretty good. Seeing this, Il is just frozen in horror. These guys aren't cooks. They're straight-up monsters. But to avoid becoming Popo's next chew toy, he still decides to go hunting with this crew of goblins. And wouldn't you know it, on his very first hunt, Il runs into some life-threatening danger. But luckily, a bunch of goblins up ahead take the hit for him. Staring at the creature in front of him that's not quite dead, Il is just speechless. Like for real, who's actually hunting who here? At that moment, Rachel suddenly chimes in with a suggestion. They should totally make a run for it while they can. Il is 100% on board, because he has but right when he's about to make a run for it, Culkin totally calls him out like, I'll take the lead. No need. Culkin just gives him a look, 'cause surprised the hunt is already done. Il is like completely floored. He was only out of it for like a dozen seconds, and they've already taken down this massive monster. But even so, the goblins paid a steep price. 13 were taken out, and 25 were seriously messed up to finish the job. But Culkin isn't even fazed by the major losses. He's actually super stoked with the outcome. All right, team, take 5, and get ready for the next hunt. After thinking it over, Il totally ditches his plan to escape. Seriously, my Mr. Hero, you're actually gonna hunt monsters with them? Nah, I don't need to do that. Il's got this all figured out. See, as long as he helps with the takedowns here. Music. He can grind experience and level up. Even if he just, taps the monster. As long as he lands the final blow, he gets all the XP. So, I don't even have to try that hard. Rachel is totally speechless when she hears this. Is this guy for real a genius? But you're just taking the easy way out? She's so not cool with her hero being that kind of guy, but Il is dead set on it. I have to get way stronger within this 1 month. After saying that, he goes up to Culkin, and it looks like the guy can totally see right through his escape plan. Human. Music. Didn't expect you to circle back. I've been here the whole time. Il totally plays dumb. Then he's like, he wants to join the hunt. You a human? Culkin doesn't give him an answer right away, just gives him this intense stare. It's making Il's heart pound. The last guys liked my whole humble act. Is this dude different? But it turns out he was just overthinking it. The next second, Culkin just cracks up. A human actually saying something so gutsy. How cute. Il just scratches his head. Well, it's all thanks to your influence, chef. Totally hyped up by the compliment Culkin makes. Another call Il gets to lead the team on the monster hunt. This completely blindsides Il. He just wanted to hang back and leech XP. No way. How can a humble human like me lead the noble demons? They'll be totally ticked off. Just as they're arguing about it, a freaked-out goblin suddenly sprints over from nearby. He quickly fills Culkin in on the situation. A pack of wild wolves is attacking, but unlike the panicking goblin, Culkin is super calm. He just grabs the cleaver on his back. More good meat for the menu, little ones. Let's go. Perfect. Il gives a little smirk. I just need to time it right and snag the final blow. I'll help you out, too, Mr. Hero, Rachel says from nearby and immediately casts a spell. This gives Il a major physical strength boost, but it only lasts for 3 minutes. Music. She totally thought he'd praise her, but instead he practically threatens her with a fist the size of a sandbag. You had this, and you're just using it now. With that power-up, Il's confidence is through the roof. They're just 5 black wolves, whatever. Then he suddenly leaps up and punches a black wolf that's already on its last legs. Level up, level up. Unexpectedly, after stealing just 1 kill, he jumps 4 whole levels. But right when Il is feeling super hyped, he spots a goblin about to finish off another wolf, so he shoves the guy out of the way. Sorry, my foot slipped. Staring at the black wolves on the ground, Il greedily licks his lips. All the final blows are mine. With him leading the charge, the 5 black wolves are taken out super fast. Il is all set to bounce, but out of nowhere, Culkin calls him back and says it's time to feast. This is the chef's privilege, you know, getting to enjoy the freshest of the fresh. With that, music. He hands Il a piece of meat. Since you chipped in, maybe you should try some, too. Staring at the bloody raw meat in front of him, Il is feeling seriously grossed out, but he doesn't have the guts to turn down the offer, so he forces himself to take a bite. The meat itself is fine, but eating it all plain and raw tastes pretty nasty. As Il is trying to figure out what to do, a light bulb goes off in his head. If he can make way tastier food, maybe he can use it to get them to do what he wants. So Il doesn't waste a second and immediately buys a bottle of MSG from the hero shop. This gets a major side-eye from the goddess Rachel, who thinks something as valuable as hero points shouldn't be wasted on lame stuff like seasoning. Even if they think it's good, it's not going to change anything. You need to look at the big picture. Il totally ignores music her and just grabs a piece of meat and starts grilling it, planning to shut Rachel up with the results. Just watch. With this stuff, I could make an old shoe taste incredible. The second he sprinkles the seasoning on the juicy, medium-rare grilled meat, this crazy good smell just explodes everywhere. I am the god of food in this world. Il is super happy with what he's made. Once it's music done, he rushes it over to head chef Culkin, because nothing beats freshly grilled meat. But Culkin just gives it a quick look and politely turns him down. Thanks, but I'm already stuffed. Faced with that, Il doesn't give up. This is my ultimate creation. If you would just do me the honor of trying it, I could die right now with no regrets. After all his begging, Culkin finally caves, takes the grilled meat, and sinks his teeth into it. But get this. That one bite instantly sends him back to when he was a kid. It's the taste of my mother. Culkin is totally blown away by the grilled meat. So to thank Il, he hooks him up with a huge bag of fresh meat as a thank you. If you ever need anything, just come find me. Il hauls the fresh meat back to his room. Popo, I'm back. But like the second he says that, Popo just lunges at him, mouth wide open, freaking out. Il yanks the fresh meat out of his bag and finally gets Popo to chill. Here you go, dude. Eat up. Now that he's got a steady supply of snacks, Il isn't worried about being on the menu anymore and is totally Popo's boss instead. After chowing down on 30 pounds of fresh meat, Popo is suddenly super into Il. Quest complete. You totally won over Popo. Reward 200 hero points. Nailing that quest gives Il a major confidence boost. Awesome. Totally went according to plan. He pulls up his stats right away. But Rachel, who's just watching, is like completely floored. Are you saving those 22 free stat points for your next life or what? Well, maybe if a certain someone had told me what these things are for. Il snaps back, which totally shuts Rachel up, since as his personal goddess, it's kinda her job to explain this stuff. Fine. Rachel sighs and starts breaking down how stats are split into 4 main types: strength, agility, stamina, and magic power. Hold up, Il cuts in, 'cause he spotted a 5th one, charm. Yeah, that one's special. So Rachel explains that charm is like a secret stat you can't get from your class. You have to grind for it. But from what I'm seeing, Il's charm stat with guy monsters is actually pretty high. Rachel keeps going. Like physical stats are key early on, but it's a whole different story in the late game when magic is everything. Il takes her advice and dumps most of his points into his physical stats. Okay, now you can hit up the hero shop and grab the Magic Control for Dummies guide. Rachel keeps up the tutorial. It'll teach you how to handle your magic, and it's only like 100 hero points. But Il scrolls through the hero shop over and over and can't find this supposed magic guide anywhere. No way, I swear it was like one of the most basic items in the shop. Rachel looks totally baffled. Il just lets out this huge sigh. He really thought his personal goddess was going to be helpful for once, but guess he got his hopes up. No, I promise it's in there. Anyway, 3 weeks fly by, like that. In that time, Il finally hits level 100. Man, that took way longer than I thought. I've got to be the hero grinding the hardest in this whole world. All that non-stop work has him totally beat. What are you even on about? Aren't you basically a celebrity? Now, celebrity. That one word sets Il off, and he just smacks Rachel to the floor. Do you have any idea how many times I almost bought it? But it usually takes like half a year to hit level 100. I was just trying to give you a compliment. I didn't mean it like that. Rachel looks totally hurt. Well, you had it coming. But right when they're arguing, the door suddenly slams open, and a goblin sprints in totally freaking out. Beast, Tamer. Il, the commander, wants to see you, like right now. Hearing the order, Il doesn't waste a second and hustles over to Hermes' office. Even Hermes is shocked by his physical glow-up. In less than a month, Il is visibly way more buff, and his magic power has literally doubled. It's all from hustling to get food for Popo. Il says trying to play it cool. He tries to just blow it off. But nothing gets past Hermes. Is it because of the hero system? He immediately starts sweating bullets. Does she know I'm a hero? Hermes gets up. She tells Il that she's known his whole deal since the day they met. The only reason she kept her mouth shut was because Ludren has a major soft spot for him. And now there's another reason she won't just off him, which is the big duel happening in a few days. Yep. Hermes nods. Then this insane, terrifying aura just explodes from her, and she morphs into her true form and lunges right at Il. But when she's barely a couple feet away, she stops on a dime. If you don't want to die, you better work your butt off and try to impress me. Got it. After that little chat, Hermes sends Il back to his room. So what's going to get the crowd hyped? Should I go for flashy moves or just total domination? Il can't stop thinking about it, because if he doesn't make Hermes happy, he's toast. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're so dead, and Rachel is being her usual totally useless self, offering zero help. Okay, let me think. Il pulls up the hero shop, figuring you gotta know your enemy to win. Problem is, besides the other guy's name, they know literally nothing. Perfect. This is the thing. Il instantly buys an item, a power gauge, which can check out an opponent's combat strength. Il aims the power gauge at Rachel, and it reads a combat power of 375. With nothing to compare it to, he has no clue what that number even means. Okay, let me see yours then, Rachel says. She gets behind the gauge and points it at Il, and the crazy number that pops up totally blows her mind. This thing has to be busted, right? There's no way you're stronger than me, 'cause it's showing Il's combat power is a whopping 1,560. What's the big deal? It's obvious you're the weakest one here, Il says, grabbing the gauge back. Rachel starts tearing up, 'Cause before she got yeeted to this world, her power level was over 10,000. Just to make sure the gauge isn't busted, Il turns to look at Popo. All right, let's see what this little dude is packing. Holy cow. The second he sees the number, Il is just speechless. 47,400. I can't believe we're both weaker than a dog. Are we sure this thing is even a purebred? After mulling it over, Il takes his new power scouter outside to scope out everyone's levels. The goblin kids are total noobs, while most of the others are basically on his tier. But the commanders, they're all rocking power levels over 10,000. So my opponent is a platoon leader, right? Rachel just nods. His name's Iskin. Word is he's some half-orc with a pig face. If he's just some platoon leader, Il figures his power level has to be around 3,000. If I can just grind a bit, I can totally take him. But yeah, wishful thinking is one thing, and reality is a whole other beast. The second Il clocks the guy's power level, he breaks out in a cold sweat. This dude is over 6,000. Fighting him would be a total wipe. While Il is totally bugging out, the hero system pops up. Your odds of beating that pig face are pretty much 0. But hey, not backing down when things get real is kinda your superpower, so I'm giving you a shot. Get your combat power to 3,000 in 1 week. Reward 300 hero points. This quest is legit clutch. Il cracks a smile. All right, bet. No matter what, I'm clearing this quest. Observer Hermes, whoever you are, just you wait. I'm gonna make it to the very end. The next morning, Il heads back to the kitchen, and Kulkan's there. He spots Il's power scouter, and can't help but ask, "That's a unique accessory. Where'd you pick that up?" Il just scratches his head. "Oh, saw some other guys with one, so I figured I'd get one too." Kulkan just turns away. Guess he just doesn't get the youth drip these days. He tells Il to gear up for the hunt. "Yes, sir." The second Kulkan's back is turned. Il sneak scans him over 35,000. Whoa, that's not your average commander level. No way it's not just him. Il quickly scans everyone else in the kitchen, and their power levels are all way higher than your typical grunt. Is this what you get from fighting monsters 24/7? Looking around, an idea clicks in Il's head. If he can find someone here with a similar power level to spar with, he could figure out where he really stands. "Commander Kulkan, can I please spar with one of the kitchen crew?" Spar Kulkan looks totally surprised. "Yeah, I feel like that kind of training would be way more useful for me." Kulkan gets this serious look on his face. He probably thinks that for a human, Il is already pretty OP and doesn't need to push it. Il puts on a bummed-out face. "Oh man, that's a shame. I even brought some meat to grill as a thank you, but I guess we can do it some other time." Il makes a big show of putting the meat back in his pack. Kulkan immediately grabs him. "Let's do it, right now. Who do you want to fight?" Things get set up for the spar super fast. Il picks this beastman named Gorbacham. His reason for picking Gorbacham over the other kitchen guys is pretty simple. First off, he's the same kind of beastman as Kulkan, and second, Gorbacham seems like the dimmest bulb in the kitchen crew. But his power level is 2,500, almost double Il's. Real talk, he's pretty sure he can't win. But I have to win. This guy is way weaker than Kulkan. If I can't even take him down, I've got 0 shot against the big boss. "Yo, what's happening? Aren't we supposed to be hunting?" Il and Gorbacham are gonna spar. The whole kitchen crew crowds around and when they hear the news. "Spar? What's that a fight, dude? How do you not get it? You mean like, fight to the death, so Il's gonna die?" The clueless kitchen soldiers start talking it out, dead serious. "If Il dies, who's gonna cook the meat? We can't live without meat. Let's just take out Gorbacham first." "That's a solid plan." Just as poor Gorbacham is about to get his death sentence, Kulkan steps in. "Shut up, you idiots. Sparring isn't about killing each other. It's just a friendly match to see who's stronger." The kitchen crew starts mumbling to each other. Like arm wrestling? Maybe tug of war. Kulkan decides to just ignore the goons. "Listen up, Gorbacham. He just needs to make sure Gorbacham, his opponent, is on the same page. You absolutely cannot, under any circumstances, off Il. You can fight, but pull your punches. Get it. Got it." Gorbacham just gives him a dumb look, scratching his head with these totally blank eyes, looking like a complete liability. But don't go too easy on him either. Rough him up enough so he feels it. Understand? Understood. And try not to break any bones. Man, this sparring thing is complicated. Look, after this is done, I'll hook you up with extra meat. so give it your all. The second he hears the word meat, Gorbachum's eyes totally light up. Leave it to me, head chef, he says suddenly, speaking perfectly clear, and steps up. Il, let's get this spar started. All right, man. Try to go easy on me. So Gorbachum and Il are facing off, keeping some space between them. Kulkan's the ref, and raises his arm. Ready, begin. As Kulkan's arm falls, the match is on. Gorbachum gets into a fighting stance. I don't want to hurt him too bad. Il's the meat guy. Can't mess up the meat guy. But Il just bolts at Gorbachum full throttle. From the get-go, Gorbachum brings up his arm, but even a light tap from him could probably cave Il's face in. But plot twist, Gorbachum's fist totally misses. It just punches thin air. And in that same moment, he sees Il's leg swinging and hears the air whoosh. Big shoe! The muddy bottom of the shoe gets bigger and bigger. I'm about to get wrecked. And that's the last thing Gorbachum remembers. And no surprise here, Gorbachum gets totally one-shot by Il's kick. 2 hours later, the 3rd Legion rolls up to the forest behind the base, even though no monsters have shown up yet. Yo Il is totally hyped right now. Music. Like legit, he never thought he'd win, but he just one-shotted a beastman with double his power level, so now he gets it. Power levels aren't the whole story, and he actually has a fighting chance against Eskin. For real, though, Eskin is on a whole other level compared to that Gorbachum dude. Like his power is straight up monstrous. Music. Whoa, a whole herd of young tourists just showed up ahead. Finally, the update Il's been waiting for. Seriously, this whole area is tourist turf. Kulkan looks super confused. This is kinda weird. Tourists don't usually hang out in this region. It's making Kulkan, who's normally all business, hesitate a little. Il walks up to him like, what's the problem? Is tourist music, meat like gross or something? Nah, tourist meat is actually bomb, especially the chewy bone marrow. It's a total gourmet treat. But these things are pack animals, if we're not careful. A whole swarm could come after us, especially the Mama Taurus, the queen. She's got major protective mom vibes. If we tick her off by messing with her kids, we're in for a world of hurt. So, we should just bail, right? Il just scratches his head and laughs. Nope, the meat's too good, we're still catching them, Kulkan says, super calm. Anyway, the Taurus queen almost never leaves her nest, so we should be fine. He lifts his massive cleaver. All right, everyone, let's go. We're having Taurus bone marrow for a snack. The kitchen soldiers let out a war cry and charge in. Be careful, we need 'em alive. Their juices are the key ingredient. As the kitchen soldiers start brawling, Il starts doing his thing. He, accidentally, shoves a soldier out of the way and totally steals the final hit on the monsters. That last hit is mine. I gotta level up. Il just starts kicking them down one by one, his level shooting up. You're like a pro at kill-stealing hero. You know it. Il laughs, totally psyched. At this rate, he's gonna blow past Iskin in no time. But right then the ground starts shaking like crazy with this insane noise. What is happening? Il looks around all confused. The kitchen soldiers are just as freaked out. But then the thing causing the earthquake shows up. It's the Taurus queen. She's so huge, she's practically blocking out the sun. She looks down at the pile of dead baby Taurus on the ground, and her whole body is shaking with pure rage. She's 100% ready to make them all pay. Il looks up, totally curious. He just has to know what kind of power level this queen has, the one that even has Kulkan spooked. But the second Il points his power scanner at her, the thing just starts blaring. Off the charts, off the charts. Kulkan, what's the plan? Il turns around just in time to see Kulkan totally dipping. Everyone, maybe fate music, will bring us together again. Try not to die. Il is just stunned. Are you kidding me, that irresponsible jerk? In the middle of all this chaos, the Taurus queen's legs start flying at everyone like cannonballs. A huge group of goblins who couldn't move fast enough get completely wiped out. But the queen is far from done, and she lets out this sky-splitting roar that almost blows out Il's eardrums. Why is it making that freaky sound? But before he can even process it, Rachel's voice pops into his head. Hero, check your 6. Alerted Il whips his head around and sees something insane. A bajillion young Taurus are stampeding right for him. Il has no choice but to book it with everyone else. Anyone who's too slow gets absolutely wrecked by the queen. Help me. You can hear panicked screams everywhere, but Il can't even think about that. He knows if he stops for a second, he's toast, and he is not asterisk, trying to die today. After running for like 10 minutes straight, Il spots a cave. It's gotta be safe in here, right? Rachel nods. Safe. Music. I scanned it. No monsters inside. Even though Il doesn't 100% trust her, it's gotta be safer than being out in the open. So after a quick pause, he heads in anyway. The cave is super deep and huge, like it was carved out by nature. Wait, doesn't that mean the music Taurus Queen could probably fit in here too? Rachel's comment makes Il's blood run cold. He glances around and spots a puddle of green goo on the rocks. No way. Well, this is from a Taurus, right? But he remembers Culkin saying there aren't any Taurus around here. So they go deeper in only to find something way more terrifying. The back of the cave is literally covered in tons and tons of Taurus eggs. Is this the Taurus Queen's nest? Il just stares, completely floored. Music, we have got to get out of here. However, while he's just standing there, stunned, a Taurus spike comes flying at him. Il barely dodges it. Why is there a grown-up Taurus in here too? With zero time to think, he just picks a random tunnel and bolts. You sure that's the way out? Il doesn't even answer Rachel. He just keeps sprinting. But a second later, he trips over something. In a total panic move, Il just snatches an egg off the ground to use as a weapon. He yeets it at the Taurus with everything he's got, and big surprise, the thing catches it, but it holds the egg super gently, like it's scared it'll break. What the heck? Il stares at the Taurus, which has totally stopped attacking him. Is it trying to protect that egg? Rachel's quiet for a few seconds. I think it likes what you threw. It's covered in that slime. Il looks over at the eggs on the floor, and a light bulb goes off in his head. Wait, are asterisk? These asterisk? Not Taurus eggs. Il gets this huge grin, and then grabs another egg. The move immediately makes the Taurus get all tense. He then gets into a throwing pose, and on purpose he lobs it away from the creature, but the super protective adult Taurus still zips over and catches Music's it. That speed is insane. So what's the next move? Il just smirks. Isn't it obvious? Dude, I've got like over 100 eggs here. 10 minutes later, the adult Taurus is totally gassed and panting. But even then, most of the eggs were a lost cause. You toss me the next egg. Il holds out his hand to Rachel. That was the last one. Hearing that, Il just freezes, totally shook. Oh, this is so not good. The Taurus goes full-on rage mode and just bolts at them like a rocket. Hit me with a buff. Quick, buff me. Rachel's on it, and Il's arm starts glowing with this sick blue light. That thing's worn out from the whole egg-catching fiasco, so I've totally got this. Il winds up his fist and just lets it fly with everything he's got. The second his fist connects the Taurus's shell, just explodes into pieces, revealing the pure white bone underneath. I won. Il stares at his own hands like he can't even believe it. Hero, you good. But the second that buff wears off, Il feels like his whole body is about to give out. Ow, that seriously hurts. Wait, I can use a healing spell, Rachel says, and her hands start glowing like crazy as Il's messed up wounds slowly start to mend. Once he's all patched up, he immediately dumps all his new stat points from leveling up. But then, like a second later, a voice he knows calls out from deeper in the cave. Il looks up, totally surprised, and it's Culkin. You're alive too. Duh, of course I am. Il is just speechless, remembering how the guy just bailed. How'd you even get here? I just stumbled into this cave while I was running for my life. Guess we're both pretty lucky, huh? Culkin just laughs, all happy-go-lucky. But that's when Il drops the bomb. This is a Taurus nest. They're all Taurus eggs. This is basically their nursery. Culkin just stares at the eggs, his eyes practically on fire, not saying a word. These squishy eggs are like S-tier ingredients. Most people literally die without ever trying one. We have to bolt, like right now. Il can't help but swear under his breath. Then Culkin just grabs an egg and pops it in his mouth. The Taurus Queen that was on my tail. Yeah, she's probably already in here. To take her down, we'd need like a whole army regiment, so might as well enjoy our last meal, right? While they're going back and forth, they hear footsteps, suddenly ring out from outside, and it's the kitchen soldiers. Is this for real, my last meal? Il is not having it. No way. He hasn't even gotten a girlfriend in this new world yet. My life cannot end like this. Meanwhile, Over in Commander Hermes' office, she's calling in Ludren. Skip the formalities. So how's that little task I gave you coming along? Just as you ordered, I managed to snag the next saints. Music. I knew it. I knew you had it in you. In like only 3 weeks, Ludren actually captured the Holy Empire's chosen saint. Nice work. Hermes gives Ludren a pat on the head, but just then the door to the room gets thrown open. Commander, I have an urgent report. The kitchen crew ran into some trouble while they were out gathering ingredients. Doesn't that happen like every day? What's the big deal? Hermes purses her lips. But the number of casualties this time is pretty big. They ran into the Terrace Queen. Most of the kitchen staff, including head chef Culkin, are either gone or MIA. Hermes strokes her chin, thinking. And what about he's missing too? Hearing the conversation, Ludren just freezes, completely stunned. Is missing too. Back in the cave, Culkin and the kitchen crew are basically in a food coma, just chowing down on eggs. Lets out a huge sigh, then just smacks Culkin hard with a book. The sharp pain instantly snaps him out of it. What was that for? You looked like you were under some weird curse, so I figured that this was the best way to wake you up. Totally made that up on the spot. But for real, he just couldn't stand seeing Culkin so down. And the book in his hand. It's the Beast Encyclopedia. Cashed in 50 hero points for at the shop. It's got the lowdown on pretty much every demon beast out there, including the Terrace. Music says they're spider-type demon beasts, super social with jacked leg muscles. To take down a Terrace, you gotta aim for their weak spots, especially their torso and head. Heads-up Terrace body fluids are super flammable. Their eggs are packed with a liquid that's basically like a bomb. Also, the caves they build with their spit are really weak to fire. So you gotta be careful about slinging fire magic inside. After scanning the Terrace's weaknesses, snaps the book shut. Culkin, can you use fire magic? Culkin looks over. Just the basics, a little bit. But like I can shoot a fireball. He sighs. Just give it up, man. My weak sauce flames aren't gonna even scratch a Terrace's shell. Just rolls his eyes at him, 'cause that's not even his plan. All right, everyone, listen up. I've got a plan to get us out of here. A plan from a goblin-sized chef. It's pointless. We're better off just staying here and eating eggs. Even with everyone giving up, isn't backing down and keeps trying to hype them up. If we actually pull this off, not only will we have Terrace eggs, but I'll hook you all up with unlimited premium grilled meat. The thought of that amazing grilled meat finally gets everyone fired up again. Music. Let's do this. Even Culkin, drooling all over himself, immediately shouts at so what's the plan? A few seconds later, lays it all out. All we have to do is run straight for the exit. Whatever happens, do not stop. Let's move. The second he says it, takes off, leading the way with everyone else right on his heels. But of course they barely get anywhere before running smack into a huge group of adult Terrace. Culkin, get ready. Holding 2 eggs in his hands, and then he just hurls them as hard as he can at the wall next to them. At the same time, Culkin shoots out his fire magic. The second the Terrace egg goo hits the flames, there's a massive explosion. Music. The shockwave is so big, it nearly brings the whole cave down. To save the rest of their eggs, the adult Terrace have to give up chasing crew and deal with the fire first. They're distracted. Go, 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 run. Music. Even though we're all booking it, this place is a total maze, and finding the exit is basically impossible. We're down to 1 egg. We gotta find the exit before this thing is gone. Yells. Then out of nowhere, Rachel spots a light way up ahead. Over there's a light. That's gotta be the exit. Dodging non-stop attacks from the adult Taurus bolts in that direction. Pretty soon they're getting closer and closer to the light. We're almost out. But right as they're about to break free, just freezes, 'cause the thing that shows up in front of them is the freaking massive Taurus music queen. She's literally blocking the entire cave exit all by herself. We're so dead. The Taurus queen is back. And even though she looks totally psycho, the queen doesn't immediately attack them. He figures it's probably because of the egg he's holding, since Tauruses have super strong mom instincts. Without even hesitating, rips a huge piece of fabric from his sleeve and has Culkin light it up. Then he holds both things up high. If this egg blows, we're all toast in here, but the whole cave will come down with it, and all your kids will be buried with us. Il screams. If you don't music, want that to happen, then get out of our way and let us out. Hearing that, the Taurus Queen totally loses it. She wants to shred Il on the spot, but her instinct to protect her babies is stopping her. Not only does she refuse to move, but she lets out this ear-splitting shriek that echoes all over the place. With no other option, Il lights the Taurus egg on fire, then just chucks it as hard as he can into the cave. The second the Taurus, music's egg, hits the wall, it explodes like crazy. The whole cave starts shaking non-stop. No way is this whole place about to collapse. Watching the giant rocks falling from the ceiling, Il realizes in a flash that the cave is coming down. Everyone run outside now. With that, Il makes a mad dash for the exit, but right after he gets out, he suddenly stops dead in his tracks, because right then, he actually hears the sound of himself leveling up. Rachel is super confused and tries to pull him out, but he won't budge an inch. As the cave keeps collapsing, the level-up notifications just keep dinging one after another. Il is completely floored. Whoa, I guess all the Tauruses that got crushed in there are giving me their experience points. Could it be? 'Cause I'm the one who collapsed the cave? Not daring to stick around, Il bolts outside. Getting past the Taurus Queen's blockade is a huge challenge, but it's not like he has a choice. Luckily, right then, Culkin pulls a super valuable Taurus egg out of his stash. He looks at it all, reluctantly. I'll use this egg to buy us a way out. But as soon as the words are out of his mouth, the Taurus Queen's attack comes flying at them. Without a second thought, Il slides right under the Queen and slips past. But just as he's about to escape, the Taurus Queen spits out some kind of web from her mouth, wrapping it around Il's arm. This is bad. I'm so dead. But right then, a dark red figure jumps in his way. It's Ludren. You all right? Il just stares, completely shocked. He has no clue why Ludren is even here. I knew you were still kicking. Ludren smirks. From now, music on, I'm taking over. As he says it, this insane power just erupts from his body and just straight up shatters the Taurus Queen. The whole scene leaves Il speechless for a second. Holy crap, he's insanely powerful. The final body count for the hunt was 99 chefs, missing or dead, including head chef Culkin. After the fight is over, Il goes back to Popo's room. Man, thank God for that bull-headed dude, or we'd have been toast, for sure. Rachel lets out a huge sigh of relief after that close call, but Il hits her with a reality check real quick. Enjoy it while it lasts. Music. We're about to be totally screwed. My duel with Culkin is coming up fast. Rachel's not buying it. Dude, haven't you already powered up a ton? You jumped a whole 75 levels from that cave-in. Now Il is at level 200, but he's still only got 30,500 battle power, while his opponent has a crazy 60,000. But Il's been thinking about it. Winning a fight isn't just about battle power. His practice match with Gorbachum was the perfect example of that. Rachel nods. Totally. Music fighting isn't just about who's physically stronger. It's also about magic. If you want to beat an opponent on that level, you have to learn how to use magic. But the problem is Il has absolutely no idea how. Yeah, easy for you to say. But then Rachel changes her tune. You know, you kind of looked like you knew how to use magic back at the Taurus hatchery. Her words totally throw Il for a loop. I used magic, you mean back then? Just as Il is lost in thought, Ludren pushes the door open, making Il jump. Sir, what brings you to our humble little place? Ludren gets straight to the point. He wants to take Il to see Commander Hermes. With Ludren leading the way, they get to Hermes' office pretty quick. What brings you here, Ludren? You don't usually just show up on your own. Without any small talk, Ludren cuts right to the chase. Commander let me train Il personally. Culkin might be a platoon leader, but I've recently realized his strength is actually more suited for a deputy battalion commander. Because of that, Ludren says, this fight is totally unfair for Il. Let me train him. I can bring out his max potential. Il is just standing there completely stunned. Why would he do this? Then he's just silently praying that Hermes says no. But total plot twist. Hermes agrees without even thinking about it. Thank you, sir. If you don't have anything music else, then get out. I have things to do. Totally cornered, Il doesn't even get a chance to argue. Thank you so much, my amazing commander. We'll be on our way. After they leave, Hermes just smirks, because she'd figured out that in just these last few days, whoa, Ill's power, like, doubled. It's kinda wild how fast a human can level up, but not gonna lie, it's stressing me out. If Ludren's, his coach, Kolkin might actually take the L. Yeah, no way I'm letting that happen. Hermes has totally got a master plan cooking. Meanwhile, Ludren and Ill zip over to the training grounds. This is my private gym, basically. Ill is totally floored. Hermes legit gave him her personal training spot. She must think he's a big deal. Ludren just stops dead and gives Ill this intense stare, and he figures out that this dude is packing some serious magical heat, but has zero clue how to use it. All the staring from Ludren is starting to freak Ill out. He has no idea what this guy wants. Guess we should start with the basics first. But the duel is in like 4 days. We're totally crunched for time. Ludren just whips around, balling his fist. He decides to just throw Ill into the deep end and force out his potential. Pain is part of the glow-up, I guess. Before Ill can even blink, he gets rocked by Ludren's punch. What the heck is this guy's problem? Has he gone crazy? I thought he was supposed to train me, not beat me up. Not even pausing, Ludren balls his fist and comes at him again. Focus everything you've got on blocking, or you're seriously toast. With that warning, Ill throws his arms up to defend himself, but the dude's punch has so much force, it sends him flying a few yards back. Weird, his body's not that buff, but his reflexes and senses are on point. His mental game is insane. Ludren starts thinking that back when they first met him, not dodging Ill's kick wasn't a fluke. This guy's a seasoned fighter for real. Ludren charges at Ill again. That bet you made with Commander Hermes. If you can't use mana, you have zero chance against Kolkin. Better to get wrecked here than get humiliated in front of everybody. Ludren's next power hit sends Ill sailing. He's not messing around. One more of those and I'm a goner for real. Ludren balls his fist, getting ready to throw another haymaker. He's betting that Ill can figure out how to use mana. Freaking heck. Here goes nothing. I can't check out. Now I haven't even found a BIE in this new world yet. Ill balls his own fist and rushes Ludren. Then out of nowhere, a sick blue mana starts swirling around his hand. Their attacks slam into each other at the same time. The mana on mana crash creates this huge shockwave on the ground. After that one hit, Ill is totally wiped and just collapses. Ludren walks over. You feel that you just used mana. Even completely gassed, Ill manages a thumbs up and tries to suck up. That's 'cause you're an awesome teacher, sir. Ludren grabs his hand. Nice. Keep this vibe going, and you've actually got a shot. Then Ludren starts to heal Ill's wounds, but the second he pushes his magic into the guy's body, Ill's eyes fly open, 'cause his whole body just explodes with pain. Oh crap. Ill coughs up blood, totally struggling. He can barely even breathe right now. This is so bad. I totally forgot you're human. Ludren's eyes go wide with panic. Dark magic is basically lethal poison to humans. He starts apologizing over and over as he scoops Ill up. At this point, only the Saintess can save him. It's like rock, paper, scissors with the powers in this world. Dark magic beats regular magic, magic beats holy power, and holy power totally shuts down dark magic. Magic is like for humans. Dark magic is the demon's thing, and holy power is for people who are all about the gods. Of all of them, the most famous spot is the Holy Gatlin Empire, where they can supposedly even hear the gods talking. And inside the empire, they pick the absolute best of the best to be the Saintess. Meanwhile, over at the Demon Army's 3rd Legion HQ, a human girl is locked up in some deep, dark room. She's got silver hair that goes all the way down to her waist, super pale skin and silver eyes to match. Seriously, she's so gorgeous it's kinda unreal just looking at her. But for whatever reason, her eyes are just blank, like completely empty. Her name is Ablison Marriott, and she's supposed to be the next Saintess of the Gatlin Holy Empire. Ludren snatched her not too long ago, and she's been stuck in this place ever since. She hasn't even tried praying in days. The main requirement to be a Saintess is being able to hear God's voice, and even though she can hear God's voice, she hasn't bothered trying to reach out from here. She knows it's totally pointless. Just as Ablesson is spacing out the door to her room, suddenly flies open. It's the Red Nightmare himself, Ludren. He's breathing hard, like he just ran a marathon to get here. Ablesson sees. He's all stressed out and gets confused Because the super chill, ruthless red nightmare, Ludren, never shows any emotion like ever. What's going on? You have to save this human. Ludren yells, totally desperate. Il is already completely passed out. His head feels like it's about to explode. Il slowly remembers what just happened. He remembers Ludren decking him and hitting the floor. Crap. Am I really going to go out holding some dude's hand? Il is so not cool with this. If he's got to go, it should at least be holding a girl's hand. He'd even take Rachel at this point. As he's thinking that, Il suddenly feels this warm energy. He carefully cracks his eyes open and sees a literal goddess in front of him. Silver hair, silver eyes. The goddess is just staring totally silent. Yep, I'm definitely a goner. Back at the respawn point, Il is 100% sure about this. Yo, goddess. I'm never forgiving you for sending Rachel to the underworld. She's a total devil in a goddess costume. And hey, if you're gonna make me a hero again, you're gonna have to put a ring on it first. The Saintess is listening and gets this kinda sad look on her face. Man, how tragic. Did I seriously just kick the bucket as a total loner in 2 lifetimes before I could even hear her amazing voice? Then Ludren just barges in. You're finally awake. He gives Il a huge, teary-eyed hug, squeezing so tight it feels like he's gonna crush him. Welp, I'm about to die again. Ludren immediately lets him go. After being totally stunned for a sec, Il holds his breath and looks around. The goddess is still here. Wait, could she be a real person and not a goddess? Oh crap. What did I just say to her? Is he totally okay? Ludren asks the Saintess like super urgently. Ablesson just shakes her head. We can't be sure yet. Like you saw, the dark magic hasn't completely left his body. I honestly don't know how this is going to turn out. Ludren is just frozen for a few seconds. Music. Not even your holy power can get rid of it. This might just be temporary. The dark magic could fade on its own over time. All right, let's just see how this plays out. Ablesson keeps his cool, like, my bad. I'll totally make it up to you in training. Ludren just grabs Il in a huge hug, freaking out. No, sir. You can't treat a nobody like me this way. Before Il can even finish his sentence, Ludren just sweeps him up and carries him out of the room. The Saintess is left there looking totally confused. That demon is actually training a human. Who in the world is he? After leaving the Saintess's room, Il bails on training, saying he has to feed Popo. You're a lifesaver, Popo. I heard you already chowed down on a soldier who came to feed you, so you shouldn't need another meal today, right? So even though Il doesn't have to worry about Ludren ending him in training, right now that dark magic is still hanging out in his body. This shouldn't be a huge deal, right? It's not gonna kill me. Il says this, looking over at Rachel. He sees her just sitting on the floor, totally bawling, 'cause she heard every single word he said to Ablesson. She seriously never thought her hero would want her to go to that place. Yeah, this is all my fault. The dark magic in you, and the fact you almost bit the dust. It's all because of me. Because I'm a goddess hiding behind a demon mask. I totally deserve to suffer forever down there. Il suddenly gets that maybe he went a little too far. He walks over to try and cheer Rachel up. All right. Rachel, come on, don't be mad anymore. I can't survive without you. You're my personal buff machine. Shut up, I don't want to hear it. Then boom, it's the next day. Il shows up at Ludren's private training spot, like always, and gets beaten to a pulp. And the Saintess Ablesson basically becomes Il's personal healer. Thanks for patching me up. Before the duel tomorrow, I wanted to ask you something. Il scratches his head, looking super awkward. Could you maybe pray that I don't get completely destroyed tomorrow? Also, if you can, I'd be super stoked if you came to watch the duel. And just like that, the day of the duel is here. From all that insane training, Il's body is aching all over, but he's feeling pretty chill. Basically, he's gotten way stronger, but nobody there really thinks he stands a chance. 'Cause let's be real, humans are at a huge physical disadvantage against demons. Music. Ludren, who do you think's gonna win? Hermes asks from the stands. Il. He's got some crazy talent and has been through some seriously tough training. Ludren says it without even hesitating. Want to make a bet? Then if you win, I'll let you keep training him. Hermes clearly isn't betting on Il. If you lose, I want you to finish him off with your own hands. You said you believed in him, so you gotta own up to your words. Got it. Ludren has no choice but to agree, and you can tell the whole deal is making him sweat. He really doesn't want Il to die. I can win this. Il keeps his head down, 'Cause thanks to Ludren's training, he's learned a brand new skill, Ludren's own fighting style. It's this super dynamic martial art, made up of 10 different fighting styles, all tweaked, from the secret moves passed down in Ludren's clan. It's all about using insane power to just crush your opponent, even though he's still kinda new to it. Ill's physical strength has leveled up a ton from the training. I have to win music, 'cause a certain silver-haired saintess is watching, just as Ill is zoning out his opponent, the Beastman. Music. Culkin makes his big entrance. The demonic vibe off him has gotten way more intense in just a short time. And yeah, that vibe is pretty much the same as Hermes's. At music, that moment, Ludren sees the demonic energy on him and jumps to his feet, totally freaked out. "You can't back out now, got it?" Hermes says with a smirk. Soon this duel officially kicks off. This black misty stuff just keeps pouring out of Culkin's body as he lets out a roar. His voice, like full of magic, echoes all over the place. Right then, music. His power level skyrockets to a terrifying 10,573. What is going on? How'd he get that strong? In just a few days, Ill is completely floored. What he doesn't know is that this is all Hermes is doing. I'm not backing down. Ill clenches his fist. Then he just bolts straight for Culkin. But the second he gets close, Culkin swings this massive iron club, slamming it down with some scary force and cracking the ground wide open. Ill twists out of the way to dodge the hit, then comes at Culkin from another angle. His fist smashes right into Culkin's face, but a punch like that is definitely not going to be a one-hit KO, so Ill throws another punch with his other hand. But what he totally wasn't expecting was that even after a hit, that gnarly Culkin doesn't even budge an inch. He swings his iron club back in a counterattack, almost nailing Ill's left arm. After dodging the swing, Ill looks up at Culkin. Besides a tiny bit of blood, he looks like he barely took any real damage. Before Ill can even blink, Culkin's charging at him like a freight train. Music. But to Ill, it's like watching it in slow-mo. After all that training with Ludren, he can totally read the guy's moves. Asterisk. Okay, don't freak out. Ill remembers what Ludren taught him. Asterisk fighting isn't just about throwing punches, it's about mixing your skills with mana. That's what makes your hits absolutely lethal. It's not about being the strongest. More importantly, music. It's about having the skills to actually take your opponent down for good. Ludren said the moves he learned before were useless because he wasn't actually trying to finish the fight. Asterisk. Oh, I get it now. Go for the kill. Ill's fist tightens, and this crazy blue light just starts pulsing from his hand. Asterisk. I don't care who it is, I'm ending this. Ill's mana-juiced Ludren combat attack slams right into Culkin's gut. The shockwave is so insane, it rips right through him. Music, and even makes the ground shake. When the dust settles, you can see Culkin just standing there, with a massive hole blown straight through his chest by Ill. And the winner is the so-called weak human, Ill. The second Ill hears the announcer call the match. He just collapses. That one punch took like all his mana. Asterisk. I actually did it. A direct hit to the heart. But just when everyone thinks it's over, this creepy web-like stuff starts oozing out of Culkin's wound, patching up the giant hole in his chest. This is so bizarre and totally messed up. There's no way a monster like Culkin has a power like this. Asterisk. His heart was literally destroyed. How is he not dead? How is that even possible? Asterisk. It clicks for Ill. Asterisk. This has Hermes written all over. Asterisk. She must have hit Culkin with that dark magic immortality curse. Ludren is totally sweating bullets for Ill, while Hermes just looks annoyingly smug. Asterisk. He picked up that fighting style so fast. His talent is unreal. But I totally saw this coming. In just a couple of seconds, Culkin is already back up. Asterisk. What the heck a curse? Asterisk. Rachel looks completely lost. Asterisk. But if it is a curse, then it can't last forever. Culkin rushes him again, drooling like a maniac. Ill watches his moves and realizes they're the exact same as before. Asterisk. Pff. These attacks are way too easy to dodge, but right when he's about to move, his legs just give out on him. Talk about bad timing. He can't dodge, and Culkin slams him into the wall like a cannonball. Ill has no choice but to grab the guy's arm and twist it with everything he's got. But even with the sick sound of bones snapping, Culkin doesn't even flinch. He just yeets Ill across the arena. The impact is so gnarly that Il blacks out for a second. Asterisk. Crappy. Music. I can feel shattered bones all over. Get up. You can do this. From the stands. Abson, who almost never says anything to him, speaks up. That's right. This isn't over. Hearing her voice gives him a boost, and Il forces himself to his feet, all shaky. Asterisk. I absolutely cannot look like a loser in front of the girl, I asked out. We haven't even gone on our date yet. Asterisk. As Il thinks this, a crazy amount of mana just explodes from his body. Asterisk. So what if my bones are broken? I'll just wrap them in mana armor. Powered up by the mana, Il is back in action. He jumps super high, focusing all his energy into his hands. Asterisk. Just die. Asterisk. Il's attack smashes down on Culkin's head, practically caving his skull in. But even with that, Culkin Asterisk, still Asterisk, isn't dead. That creepy black mist starts pouring out of him again. Il just stares at him, totally calm now. All he can think about is winning this, so he can go on that date. Il raises his hand again. Asterisk. This is my job. Come on, you meathead. And with that, he smashes another punch right into Culkin's face. Asterisk. You taught him to control mana like that, Asterisk? Hermes asks Ludren, sounding skeptical. But Ludren says no. That answer makes her get real nervous real fast. Asterisk. Then we need to watch out. That kid's a monster. And hearing that from her is a big deal. Like hearing it from a Legion commander. I mean, besides the Demon King himself, nobody can touch her. The duel is called off pretty quick after that. When Il wakes up, he's already back in Popo's room. Asterisk. Wait, how did the fight end? Asterisk. Il totally missed the finale. All he remembers is wailing on Culkin. Asterisk. You won. And then St. Tess healed you. After Rachel fills him in, Il immediately pulls up his hero system. He sees that he leveled up a whopping 12 times from that one fight, and his stats got a major boost, too. He even got a brand new skill called Mana Control. Music. But get this, even Rachel, the goddess who's seen it all, has never heard of it. Asterisk. Of course, you haven't seen it. Asterisk. Il can't stop himself from muttering. What's that supposed to mean? Asterisk. It's because the skill is super rare. Asterisk. Okay, fine. Not because I don't know things. While they're arguing, Il spots what looks like a little note. St. Tess, the one who healed Il, gets back to her room. She looks out the window. Music. Thinking. Asterisk. That guy is something else. Mastering mana in just 3 days, and even picking up those fighting skills that would take any other knight at least a whole month to get down. His potential is off the charts. Abson rubs her hands together, looking excited. She'd been praying to God just to asterisk. Maybe this is the answer to my prayers, or maybe it's just all Il's own talent. But whatever, it doesn't matter now. He won the fight, and that's what counts. Maybe he's the one I've been searching for. Abson thinks as she walks up to the door. Then she knocks. Asterisk. St. Tess. What is it, Asterisk? Abson presses her lips together. Asterisk. I need to ask you for a favor. I want to go for a walk. Back in Popo's room, Il is opening the note. No way it's from St. Tess herself. She's asking him to take a walk with her in the back garden. Il is literally shaking with excitement. He doesn't waste a single second and bolts to the spot they're supposed to meet. Should I try to get her number first? Or should we go old school and exchange letters? Ugh, being out this late is seriously ticking Rachel off. Don't be an idiot, she snaps. She's totally playing you. Let's just bounce. But like the second she says that, Il gets all jumpy and grabs her, 'cause he totally senses something moving way out there. He whips his head around and sees it's Abson, and trailing her are 2 massive minotaurs. Il is seriously not happy about this. He thought this was supposed to be a private date with the Saintess. They're my bodyguards, she explains. I can't exactly go anywhere by myself. And after Abson explains, Il finally gets that the Saintess is basically a prisoner of the demon army. Let's just take a walk for now, she says. But with those 2 minotaurs staring him down, Il is way too freaked out to say anything. You're a hero, aren't you? Abson asks, turning her head. Il is like completely stunned for a sec, but he still manages to nod. How'd you know? In our world, only demons or heroes have black hair. Plus, the way you fought in that duel yesterday was insane, so I figured you had to be a hero. All that praise makes Il super embarrassed, so he just laughs awkwardly. Hey, can I ask you something too? Like, what do you think of me as a person? Absen's face just goes blank with confusion, which is like a super rare look for her. What is this dude even on about? Just when the vibe gets painfully awkward, Ludren's voice cuts in, echoing from a distance. Him showing up totally kills the awkward vibe. So there you are. The Legion commander wants a word. And just like that, it's a total bombshell. The date Il tried so hard to set up is officially over. So yeah, Ludren basically drags him to Hermes' office. Nice work, Hermes says, sitting cross-legged on her desk and looking Il over. I watched that whole duel, you know. You've been racking up some pretty impressive wins lately. Hermes flicks her finger. Remember that deal I offered you? Il nods fast. Yeah, I remember. You said I had to fight whoever you picked. And in return, you'd protect me while I was doing it. Exactly. Then Hermes keeps going, and I said you should become a demon officer and work here, right? Hermes gives a satisfied nod. Well, I'm telling you now, that was all just an excuse. Honestly, I didn't think you'd last this long. But now, things are different. She points over at Ludren. You said asterisk, here'd asterisk, make a great demon officer. So this time I'm thinking we try something new, something other than dueling. Hermes hops off her desk and slowly walks toward him. You know our unit has its own independent cooking company. Turns out the cooking company took some major hits, so now the top brass can't even get a decent meal. So starting today, you're the new commander of that unit. I'm giving you full authority to recruit new cooking soldiers, however you want. Think you can handle it? Il knows he's stuck. Leave it to me. Congrats on the promotion, Rachel teases. Look at you, a big-shot company commander now. A human hero in charge of demon soldiers. You happy now? Yep, this feeling is awesome. Il shoots back, not giving her an inch. They keep bickering all the way to the Legion kitchen, but the second Il shoves the door open, he hears some seriously loud munching coming from inside. He looks down and spots a cooking soldier just chowing down on something. The guy recognizes Il. Oh, it's that barbecue grunt. Grunt. Hearing that disrespectful name just makes Il snap. He shakes his foot awake. Listen, pal, you got it all wrong. As of today, I'm the head chef supervisor. And with that, he plants a nasty kick right in the guy's face. After blowing off some steam, Il rounds up all the soldiers in the kitchen. Most of these guys have a battle power of around 2,000, with the strongest one clocking in at 30,500. Looking at this sad crew, one huge question pops into Il's head. Why are there so few of you? Shouldn't there be like 300 to 500 people? There's not even 30 of you here. But Il knows he can't back out of Hermes' orders, or he's dead meat. He tries to play it cool. Does anyone here know who I am? Some little guy raises his hand. He's a tasty human. The second the words are out, Il sends him flying into the wall with a brutal kick. That's right. I'm a tasty human, you idiot. Il whips out the appointment letter from Hermes. The commander made me the head supervisor. Of this kitchen unit. From now on, you all treat me like a king. Now can someone tell me why this place is so empty? Another soldier raises his hand. They all went out hunting and got wrecked by magical beasts. Hearing this, Il is actually pretty calm. He already knew the strongest chef, Kulkan, got taken out by the Tara's queen, so it makes sense that these leftover scrubs couldn't handle some wild monsters. All right. Who's the strongest one here? It's Gurumu. Without missing a beat, everyone points to the guy Il just decked. Since his battle power is off the charts, Il makes him the deputy kitchen supervisor. All right, if that's it, you're all dismissed. Il slumps down in a corner by himself. He figures the kitchen needs at least 200 people to function. Welp. There's only one way to fix this. The next morning, super early, Il heads out of the barracks with Popo. He's already got a foolproof plan for recruitment. Use Popo to scare the crap out of people. The pitch is simple. Either join the kitchen crew or become Popo's lunch. Let's start with this guy. Il just walks up and kicks a soldier right in the face. With a power level of only 1,931, this dude looks like an easy target. Hey, little mole, how'd you like to join our kitchen department? What mole? The soldier looks around totally confused and points at himself. Yeah, mole, I'm talking to you, Il says, landing another savage kick. The mole guy just sits there, looking completely defeated. What the heck? Music. Dude, you're hitting me and won't even hear me out. You're the first one we've snagged today. Got any clue what that means? He'll just sighs. It means you're basically a VIP compared to the scrubs who sign up later. You can either flex your authority or just find some other dude to take the fall. Take the fall. The mole guy was totally lost. With his brain buffering, he just couldn't process that. Yeah, go grab your whole crew. For every 10 heads you bring me, I'll give you one of them as your own subordinate. Ill's plan was feeling pretty genius. He was about to build a whole army division of cooks, but plot twist. What he didn't know was that the mole creature was actually a soldier from the independent battalion, and that news traveled fast, right up to the big boss. The demon Doris, commander, music. We've got a situation. Our battalion is like running out of soldiers. Why, Doris, all classy, picks up a handkerchief. Did they all just dip? Did my soldiers seriously up and leave? He couldn't believe he treated his guys bad enough to make 'em bounce. They didn't bounce. They all got hired as cooks. I see. Doris let out a huge sigh of relief. He leaned back in his chair. Poaching guys for the kitchen is totally normal. I'll be a cool boss and let it slide. Just tell them to chill out next time. Doris clearly couldn't be bothered with this. No, sir. We need to take this seriously, the soldier yelled, basically in tears. He's already snatched up 200 of our guys. Hearing that number, the super chill, Doris totally lost it. Meanwhile, Ill was still on his recruitment grind. We're up to over 200 cooks now. Should we maybe stop hiring? The second he said it, he felt like something was off. Glancing over, Ill saw something that made his blood run cold. Didn't I tell them to bring asterisk? One asterisk friend, so why did this dude bring a pig? Something is seriously wrong here. Ill whipped out his power scanner to check, then froze out solid. We're so dead. The reading was off the charts. This guy's power level is over 50,000. Okay, let's just quietly pack up and run. But Ill barely took 2 steps before Doris called his name, so all he could do was turn around and force a super fake smile. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? Doris dropped the bomb that he was the commander of the 3rd Legion's independent battalion, then started grilling Ill. What brings me here? You really don't know. What were you even thinking? He pointed at the fresh recruits. Why did you steal half of my battalion's soldiers? Ill was completely shook. He never guessed these guys were all from the same crew. Let me explain, sir. Dang. No wonder this all went so smoothly. A few minutes later, Doris dragged Ill to his office. You're telling me you didn't do this on purpose? Ill nodded like his life depended on it and started laying on the compliments. Yes, sir. I only picked the most heroic-looking soldiers, but they all just happened to be from your battalion. Hearing that, music, Doris was secretly beaming. Commander Hermes likes this kid, so I probably shouldn't make a huge deal out of this. With that in mind, he immediately cracked a smile. Well, if that's your selection process, I guess we have to respect it. Is this for real? Ill was ecstatic, but he knew it couldn't be this easy. And sure enough, the next second, Doris, music, spoke up. But I have one condition. Take one more soldier from our battalion, and we're cool. Ill had a bad feeling Doris was about to dump some total loser on him, what you don't want. To seeing Ill hesitate, Doris's killer vibe started leaking out. I'm just so thrilled, Ill booked it out of the office without a second glance. Just introduce him to me later. Not long after Ill got back to his office, the door suddenly slammed open. A massive giant filled the doorway. His name was Azolu, a mix of ogre and half-orc. Ill looked up and saw the guy's power level was completely off the charts. This dude looks kinda dumb, but he's ridiculously strong. I've got to use music. Him right. The next day, I got all the kitchen soldiers together again. All right, let's do a reintroduction. I'm Popo's keeper and the head chef around here. Next, Ill laid out his plan to restructure the whole department. He pulled out a list and had them line up based on their new positions. Ill had figured out that while these beastmen had similar IQs, their power levels were all over the place. So he sorted them by strength, assigning the weaker dudes to kitchen duty and taking the stronger ones out to hunt. A few minutes later, they were in 2 lines, just like Ill wanted. On the right, the cooking squad. On the left, the combat squad. Any questions? But the moment Ill finished talking, a soldier shot his arm up. I object. Music. I want to hunt too. I want that fresh meat. The one talking was this super short beast man. Ill just let out an awkward laugh, then curled his finger. Come here. The scrawny soldier, looking confused, slowly walked over, and then Ill just punted him, sending the guy flying. You want to go? You gotta pass my test first. Obviously, you failed. Right after Il did that, the hero system pinged him with a notification. With awesome leadership, you have commanded soldiers to reorganize and stabilize the troops. Hidden attribute charisma increased. Music. Commandability level raised. Il's eyes went wide. That was a totally unexpected bonus. Anyone else got any objections? Il raised his fist. If not, music. Combat squad. Grab your weapons and let's roll out. It's hunting time. With Il in the lead, the combat squad made it to the northern forest. But weirdly, there wasn't a single creature there. Could it be because Papo or Azolu are just too OP and they're scaring off all the enemies Rachel suggested? Il had to agree. But those two were the combat squad's MVPs. He couldn't just leave them behind. Just then, music. Rachel clapped her hands like a light bulb went off. She looked at Il with a sly little smirk. Then let's just use them as bait. Oh my God, this girl is an actual devil. Il went with it and picked out 5 numbered soldiers to be the decoys. He used lottery numbers he bought way back on Earth. With legit tears in his eyes, Il ordered Azulu to start launching the soldiers whose numbers were called. Number 14. Launch the intercontinental ballistic missile. Fire. So the plan is to use the weaker guys as bait to draw the prey out, right? Il says he's not about to forget to have his dudes light some torches, totally faking it. That way the bait squad can see the smoke and think they can come back. Just tossing them out there like that you're seriously sure they'll make it back alive. Rachel's face is screaming doubt. Of course. Il smirks, looking wicked. At least one of the 6 will be back, and that includes Azulu. Everyone watching is pretty sure Il has completely lost it. We're so dead if we go. But just as they're about to bounce, they turn around and bam. Popo, who already got his orders, is waiting for them. Even though he looks stressed, Il is actually low-key chill on the inside. Either you do exactly what I say, or you can go become a snack inside Popo's belly. Big surprise, the poor soldiers all go with option 1. After all, music? Maybe dying is way better than definitely dying. And what do you know, after waiting a bit, the bait soldiers actually drag back a bunch of beasts. Just gotta wait for the soldiers to take care of them. I just need the final blow. But before Il can even finish his sentence, Azolu just roars and charges ahead, then swings his weapon and unleashes a savage attack. What is this power? Il is totally shook. With just one strike, Azolu completely obliterates the massive beast. And music. Popo does the exact same thing, insta-killing them too. How am I supposed to deal with this? Not only did he miss the final blow, but even the meat on the beast is completely shredded. When we come back tomorrow, I am absolutely not bringing these 2. I'm out. See y'all tomorrow. A little while after getting back to his room, music. He'll head straight for the kitchen. After psyching himself up, he angrily kicks the door wide open. Are you guys slacking off again? Is the food ready or what? The deputy head chef scrambles over. We're on it, but today's meat is kinda... Il's whole vibe darkens. Music. A real craftsman doesn't blame his tools. Yes, sir. I'll get right on it. Even though he says that Il knows for a fact that with these cooks' skill level, even dogs walking by would hold their noses. But it's cool. Il's already figured out a solution. The regular grunts eat whatever the cooks make. Only battalion commanders and up are worthy of eating his cooking. This not only fixes the production problem perfectly, but also scores him major brownie points with the higher-ups. After finishing the roast, Il immediately goes looking for Ableson because she was a huge help in that duel. He wants to show his thanks with some super tender roast. Thank you. I'll just have a little. Ableson spears a piece of roast, and this incredible rich, meaty smell just wafts up. The aroma is way better than she expected. After she pops it in her mouth and chews the taste, completely blows Abson's mind. This is legit the most delicious thing she's ever eaten in the Demon Lord's Black Castle. So good. In no time, Abson has totally finished the roast. Afterwards, Music's Il picks up the plate to leave, but right then, Abson speaks up. She asks Il if he has anything he wants to do after he leaves the Demon Lord's castle, get married and have kids. Il blurts out, but Abson just freezes when she hears it. She kinda thought a hero would have some bigger dreams. I get it. You can go, Music. It doesn't have to be the village chief's daughter, you know, Il says, shyly, fidgeting with his finger. Then he asks Ableson the same question. Me. I don't want to do anything. After thinking for a super long time, she just says it totally calm. Meanwhile, over in the Gatlin Empire, some guy comes running in completely freaking out. They've found St. Tess Ablison's location. She's being held prisoner in the Black Castle, terrified of the monster-eater Hermes. The Empire doesn't dare just send in troops. Music. In all of human history, the Black Castle has only been conquered 3 times, and every single time was because Hermes wasn't there. After thinking for a sec, the Pope comes up with the perfect fix. Summon our heroes, send them in as a stealth rescue team. The next day, Il gets the soldiers together early for a hunt. But Absin's words, "I don't want to do anything," are totally stuck in his head. Why would she, Music, even think that? With that question bugging him, Il kicks off the day's hunt. After going deeper into the forest, he raises his hand to signal the team to halt, then orders all the squad leaders to step up. 10 squad leaders, 10 people total. They're nervously peeking at Il's face. What's he planning today? Thankfully, Azalu isn't around, so he probably won't pull that crazy stunt of yeeting soldiers into the forest. But today Il is being surprisingly chill, actually pulling out several huge pieces of seasoned roast from his backpack. Everyone grab a piece. What are you just standing there for? I said eat. If you don't, you're gonna be Popo's dinner. Will, Music, eat. The squad leaders are practically in tears as they shove the meat in their mouths. These big, tough guys wolf down fist-sized chunks of meat in less than a minute. Head chef, what is this stuff? It's amazing. The squad leader's eyes start to get all misty tears dripping down. We seriously made the right choice, joining the kitchen troops. The head chef is such a great guy. We'll definitely go all out from now on. Can we have another piece? The squad leaders are yelling excitedly, their faces all red, but Il just raises his index finger and gives it a little wag. The fine dining experience is over. Now the game begins. Go capture some beasts alive. The squad that catches the most gets to have dinner with me tonight. Still standing there, move it. As soon as Il's words hit the air, a life-or-death game for meat kicks off. Just to taste that incredible roast again. The squad leaders all charge forward. Humph. All creatures are just slaves to their desires. During today's music hunt, Il levels up directly to 224. Hey, head chef, which squad won today? Il turns around and announces the Wild Wolf squad as this hunt's champions. They get the chance to eat roast. The losers. Well, better luck next time. Meanwhile, Music. Inside this creepy black castle, it's a total mess. Demon soldiers are everywhere, laid out in pools of their own. Yeah. And get this, it was all one person's doing. In like a flash, this mystery person shows up at the room where St. Tess Absin is being held, and then boom, he pulls back his hood. St. Tess Absin, I'm here to get you out. Turns out this guy is Oseld Geffen, some secret ops hero sent by the Pope, like a total shadow agent, for the Holy Empire. But plot twist. After he tells her what's up, Absin is like, "Nah, I'm good," and tells him to bounce. Geffen just kinda smirks and scratches his head slowly, walking closer to her. He's all, "Sorry, but this is my mission, and I gotta see it through." But Absin is not having it. She even drops Hermes' name, the Voracious Eater. "If you don't leave, I'll use my holy power to ping her." But before she can even finish her sentence, Geffen just decks her right in the stomach. Nighty-night. When you wake up, you'll be back in the Empire. He's holding her super tight, and everything starts getting dizzy and fuzzy for Absin. She's thinking, how does this guy have holy power? No, I can't go back there. I just can't. Right as she's about to black out, a fist the size of a boulder slams right into Geffen's face. "Get your grimy hands off her, you jerk." And it's, he put like everything he had into that punch, but Geffen doesn't even flinch. A dude, just oozing dark magic. Kinda interesting. You look way more human than you feel. Geffen just scoffs. "Nice try, but your magic is weak sauce." Before he's even done talking, Il comes at him again, throwing a whirlwind of some seriously powerful magic. Il's moves are way faster than Geffen expected. Now Geffen's actually interested in him, thinking maybe he should bring this kid back to the Empire too. So Geffen blocks the hit and hits back hard. The force is insane. Blood just sprays from Il's mouth, and he's knocked out cold right then and there. Geffen's like, "Whoops, did I just delete him?" Maybe getting ticked off made him forget his own strength for a sec. Rachel, who was hiding and watching the whole thing, is totally bugging out. No way. He took out my hero in one punch. Maybe I should go find Papo. After checking that Il is still breathing, Geffen whips out a scroll from his pocket. It's some high-level holy magic scroll like a Plan B. But right then, this super intimidating girl's voice comes from behind him. "What's going on here? Look like you need a hand." "It's Hermes." "Crap, I didn't even feel her coming." Geffen tries to play it cool and turns around fast. "Voracious eater, Hermes." "That's so rude. I think gourmet has a much nicer ring to it, don't you?" Hermes is totally joking around, all smiles. But Geffen is the complete opposite. He's sweating bullets. He's thinking, can I actually win this? The Pope warned him over and over to never ever fight the voracious eater. Of course, Geffen just blew it off back then. But now standing right in front of her, he totally gets why the Pope was freaking out. "I can't feel any demonic energy from her, not even a little bit, and she's right here. It's like she's not even there." That is not a good sign. It means the power difference between them is just massive. Still, Geffen's taken down tons of opponents who were stronger than him before. He's ready to test his limits one more time. But in the space of a heartbeat, Hermes' insane magic power just slams into him like a hurricane. He's telling himself, don't freak out, just stay calm. I gotta focus, find my chance to grab the Saintess, and dip. But while he's busy planning, his head spins. His arm is just gone. Wait, when did that even happen? Geffen is totally frozen. Come on, entertain me. Hermes grins, and he knows he's completely screwed. Forget escaping with the Saintess. I'm not even sure I'm getting out of this alive. Realizing the mission is a total bust, he shoves the scroll in his mouth and chomps down on it. A crazy bright light flashes as the holy magic goes off. That kind of pure holy power would literally turn a normal demon to dust. But Hermes, who's standing right in the middle of it, just raises an eyebrow. Oh, trying to run away. I thought we were just getting started. And just like that, poof, Geffen is gone. Dude's got some solid escape moves, not gonna lie. But actually, Hermes totally let him go. If she really wanted him gone, she could have ended him like 1,000 times in under 1 minute. So demons have been popping up on the continent for over 500 years. Tons of them come and go. But there are two major exceptions, the Demon Lord and Hermes. Those two are like permanent fixtures, total legends. They're not going anywhere. The Demon Lord is a super reclusive and almost never shows his face, but Hermes, the voracious eater, is a whole different story. By the way, all those demons Geffen took out, they were all Ludren's crew. Yeah, Ludren is gonna be so ticked. Anyway, time skips to the next day, and Il is back to training with Ludren. Your attack style and how you cast magic are still way too basic and predictable. You have zero imagination, so your moves are all stiff and boring. Ludren is just ripping into Il's weaknesses, but then his vibe changes. It doesn't matter how strong you get, there's always someone stronger out there. So to win, you gotta be willing to do whatever it takes. And with that little piece of advice from Ludren, training for the day is finally over. The second Ludren is gone, El just completely collapses. Ugh, I'm literally dying, somebody help. As the goddess Rachel starts healing him, Il starts to feel a little better. So I'm just your personal health potion now, is that it? But while Rachel's complaining, Il's mind is already somewhere else completely. He's not listening. He's hearing Saintess Abson's voice in his head. Get stronger, Il. The only way to protect what you believe in is to have enough power. I have to get stronger. Il saying that out of nowhere totally sets Rachel off. Are you seriously still thinking about her? You almost got yourself deleted for that woman. You can't talk about the Saintess like that. Yo, that's like asking for divine payback. While those two are arguing, Rachel's just like, I'm so confused. That blonde assassin dude can totally use holy powers, so why would he mess with a saint from his own team? Il totally agrees. I mean, as the next saint, she's gotta be super important. Anyway, music. We can't talk about the saints anymore. Why, you got a crush on her or something? Il just covers his ears. Ugh, enough, stop being so jealous. But for all his tough talk, like a bunch of minutes later, Il is back in his room, full on sobbing. Just let me die already. I so don't want to be human in my next life. Popo is completely thrown by how he's acting. Are you actually worried about that idiot? I think you're starting to see him as your boss. To clear things up for Popo, Rachel spills the tea on what went down 10 minutes ago. So flashback, Il gets called into Hermes' office. I've got a major problem. I'm bored. Hermes's words totally freak Il out. Like, what does she want? Music? Now I want to see something fun. You've got 1 month. Go take down a battalion commander. Seeing Il's super stressed out face, Hermes points a finger at him. Music, basically saying that if he thinks he can't handle it, she can help him out, just like she did with Kulkin. Totally not necessary. I'll nail this mission, no problem. After explaining the whole sitch to Popo, Rachel adds, you should probably say bye to him, Popo. You're not gonna see him for a while. And with that, she zips over to Il. Just face it, dude. Music. Your fate is sealed. With a power level of like 9,000, you seriously think you can beat a battalion commander? My life already sucks. I might as well drag someone down with me. Il mopes flopping onto the table. Battalion commanders usually have power levels over 40,000, so yeah, he's toast. He looks down at Popo, whose power level is off the charts, and sighs. If only you could fight for me. But this is supposed to be like a one-on-one duel. Yeah, that's the deal. But before he can even finish, something clicks in Il's head. A duel. Wait a sec. Hermes never actually said it had to be a duel. After checking with Rachel like 3 times, Il confirms it no duel required. That means I can win any way I want. Ambush jump him. Even bring Popo, or like all 3. We lure him out. Then Popo leads the charge, and we all pile on him. Not sure if that's smart, or just super cowardly. Rachel just shakes her head at Il's scheme. But now they have a major problem. How do they even get the battalion commander to come out? For Il, though, this is a total non-issue. All he needs is to grab some ribs, use honey to get the juices flowing, and slice up some mushrooms. Obviously, you gotta have spices and garlic and some of that water-spitting fish for decoration. Just toss all that stuff in the pot, let it simmer for 2 hours, and whoops, it burns. Crap. But Il manages to save the parts that aren't totally torched. He finishes it off with a sprinkle of scallions. Perfect. With a music masterpiece like this, there's no way any battalion commander can say no. Meanwhile, over in the other camp, the super chill battalion commander, Doris, is just vibing and enjoying his meal like always. Now that he's finally gotten rid of that problem child, a Zulu, his life is totally peaceful. But right then, one of his guys reports, Head Chef Il wants to see you. Doris just waves him off without even thinking. Tell him getting a Zulu back is a no-go. But the soldier just shakes his head. No, sir. He says he's here to thank you. He wants to cook for you personally. The second he hears the word cook, Doris's eyes pop open. The rumor is that Il's cooking is so good, it can even impress Hermes. Music. So he's like, let him in now. A second after the soldier leaves, Il strolls in with this huge plate. And to be extra dramatic, he's even got a red rose in his mouth. Lord Doris, it's been a minute. The whole thing makes Doris turn bright red, and his heart is like racing. But he snaps out of it, realizing something's weird, and forces Music himself to chill. So I hear you're here to thank me. Yup, thanks to you looking out for me a month ago, becoming head chef was a total breeze. Il sets the plate down in front of Doris. To show you how grateful I am, Lord Doris, I whipped up this special dish. Hope you like it. Doris isn't even listening. His eyes are totally glued to the food on the table. Hold up, what is that smell? Doris just straight up grabs a huge rib. He can't even help himself. Gratitude, schmatitude. He's dying to know what this meat tastes like. Doris shoves the whole thing in his mouth and starts to savor it. And then these super gross noises start coming out of this dude's mouth. This is so good I can't even For a split second, Il looks like he wants to end him, but the look is gone in a flash. Doris has no idea. Wow, this meat is legit amazing, Doris says, blushing like he's just now embarrassed about how he was acting. Glad you like it. Il forces this super sweet smile that would fool anyone into thinking he's actually happy. Well, I'll get out of your hair then. Il holds back his gag, reflex turns around and opens the door. But the second he's out, he literally pukes up everything he's eaten all week. I don't even know how to describe Music. What I just saw. It was just gross. Beyond disgusting. I have to take this pig down. And so, Music Il brings Doris meals for a whole week, getting him totally hooked on meat like some kind of addict, and then lure him into the forest to finish the job. That was Il's master plan, anyway. But today, after a few bites, Doris suddenly gets this worried look on his face and stops eating. Turns out, he's got a big battle tomorrow to defend his title. If he blows it, he's out as battalion commander. It's because I've gotten like this that everyone disrespects me, Doris says, looking at. He glances at his chunky frame with a smirk, then just starts wolfing down meat. But Il is totally spiraling. It's so over. If this dude gets wrecked, in the duel a whole week of my work is just gone. And let's be real. There's no way this pig is gonna win the big showdown. You should have watched your figure, you dummy. Il literally wants to grab Doris by the shirt and just scream. But right then, Doris's voice just pops up. If you, music, have some time, I'd love for you to come watch. You're my good luck charm. K. Il just nods, praying super hard in his head. Please let the other guy be an even bigger loser than Doris. The next day, Il, with huge dark circles under his eyes, finishes his chores and heads to the dueling arena. Hey, look on the bright music side, he thinks. Maybe that pig will have a sudden glow-up and become some kind of super pig. But seriously, what super pig weighs over 800 pounds? Impossible. Il isn't even buying his own hype. Inside the music arena, it takes Doris a solid half hour just to get up the stairs to the stage. But seeing Il in the stands makes it all feel worth it. My lucky charm, you actually made it. His opponent is this super buff, beefy demon with a deer head. Yeah, Il's prayers totally flopped. The ref gives the signal, and the duel kicks off. Music. The deer-headed demon makes the first move. He's moving crazy fast, but the second he hits Doris, he just freezes. Unbelievably, Doris, who looked like he could barely walk, has enough raw power to totally lock down his opponent. Next, he gets in position and then just unleashes. The insane attack completely wrecks the entire arena. Even Il Music, way back in the stands, nearly gets clipped by the aftershock. Il is positive the fight is over, and the winner is the demon Doris. After the duel, Il heads back to his room. After seeing Doris's real power, he knows for sure that Popo can't beat him alone. So Il has to switch up his plan. He needs to find some stronger creatures deep in the hunting forest to help him take down Doris, like the Taurus Queen or someone like that. Thanks to his kitchen crew putting in the work, Il is starting to get the lay of the land. He looks super proud. Hero, are you thinking what I'm thinking? You bet. You know what they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. On day 3 in the back mountain forest, Rachel's covering her mouth, like she's gonna hurl any second. After cramming the Beast Encyclopedia for 3 days straight, her brain is officially full. Before I actually barf, let's get a move on. Hero just nods and pulls out a map. First target's 1 kilometer up ahead. The cooking soldiers marked it as a monster called Simabibofi. Rachel immediately pipes up. In the ancient music language, that means forest worm. There are also 2 other monsters that look kind of similar, Mosby and Estanibia. But that idea gets shot down instantly, because Rachel says its attack power is weak sauce, and it won't go after people. How about music? That this goddess has got skills, right? Just call me the beast expert. Il is totally stunned. Yeah, for sure. You're not just skilled, you're wicked smart. He thinks to himself, man, the ditzy ones sure learn fast. A little later, Il gets all the kitchen soldiers together. He's looking over this map real close, when one spot catches his eye, marked as music, covered in steel-like scales, looks like a dragon. But Rachel says there are tons of dragon types, and you can't tell which one from that vague description. In Il's mind, dragons are supposed to be the strongest beasts out there, so he decides to go check it out for himself. When they get to the dragon's territory, Il gives the kitchen soldiers their mission for the day. We're clearing music, this place out. No need to capture them. Hunt 'em on sight. Eat 'em on sight. Il's call gets the kitchen soldiers more hyped than they've ever been. Whoa. The head chef finally snapped out of it. We're gonna eat fresh meat until we burst meat. I need meat. And just like that, they start taking down a ton of beasts in the area. Unlike the super excited kitchen soldiers, Il is looking pretty on edge. Why hasn't the boss beast shown up logically, with so many of the little guys gone? The big one should be here by now, right? So to make sure the day isn't a total waste, Il decides to level things up, telling the kitchen soldiers to start fires and roast all the beasts right there on the spot. And sure enough, just after the barbecue gets going, the ground suddenly starts to shake. At the same time, Il's eyes light up. Is it coming? He doesn't know what it is, but he can feel something massive heading their way. Before long, a beast comes crashing through the trees. Its eyes are blood red. It's a terrifying 5 meters tall, with a dragon-like head, and its whole body is covered in black scales. Il immediately whips out his power gauge. Power. Off the charts. It's immeasurable. Perfect. The power level is definitely high enough. Rachel explains that this is a beast called a Nadri, and its fighting power is on the same level as a battalion commander. A giant dragon. Run. The cooking soldiers totally freak out and scatter, but Il just cracks a smile. This is how we're gonna beat Doris. Everyone follow my lead. With that, Il takes off at full speed. Meanwhile, Ludren gets called into Hermes's office. What has Il been up to? Ludren says he's just doing his usual thing, being the head chef. Hermes finds that a little strange. Il has been way too quiet lately. Don't tell me you taught him some other crazy technique, my lord. Nah, we're just doing some routine training. Hermes then asks what the chances are of Il beating a battalion commander, and Ludren is straight up 0. Even though Il's been laying low, Ludren's noticed something weird, too. I heard he's been getting pretty friendly with Doris recently. You mean Asterisk? That Asterisk guy Hermes is giving him major side-eye. He talks a big game about taking down a battalion commander, but now he's getting all buddy-buddy with one. What's his play here? This is getting juicy. All right, let's see how this plays out. So for the next few days, Il is basically Doris's personal chef, whipping up all this amazing food. This is insane. Thanks for the barbecue today, man. After totally crushing 50 plates of barbecue, Doris lets out a satisfied burp. And right then, Il lets out this super dramatic, heavy sigh. That weird vibe immediately gets Doris's attention. Yo, what's up? Did something go down Il's eyes? Start getting all teary. It's nothing. It's just something went down with the kitchen crew. This might be the last meal I can ever bring you. Doris totally freaks and jumps up. What, spill it? What happened? Looking super bummed out, Il just waves it off. Commander Hermes is craving some special beast meat, but this thing is like way too strong. We've been fighting it for days and still can't catch it. Doris is completely floored. He can't even imagine a beast that OP. The marble pattern beast. What's that? I've never heard of it. Which makes total sense, 'cause Al literally just made it up. This is life or death, man. I wouldn't mess with you on this. Seeing how messed up the situation is, Doris is like, I got you, and offers up 200 of his soldiers, but Il shuts that down. He's basically like, your guys are too weak. Sending any of them would just be a total waste of life. But if the asterisk, great asterisk, Lord Doris himself stepped in, maybe this whole mess would just disappear. And if you pull this off, I'll make sure Commander Hermes hears all about how awesome Lord Doris was. Doris starts daydreaming about the commander cupping his face and telling him how amazing he is, and he gets instantly hyped. You think she'd really do that? Il sees Doris is on the fence, so he doubles down, swearing he'll tell the commander, and that seals the deal. Fine, I'm in. I'll help you out. After all, we're friends. For real? You're in. Il looks down, hiding this sneaky little smile. Thanks, my lord. Next day, crack of dawn, Il rolls out to the forest with a huge crew. Today's the big showdown, codenamed Operation Pig Hunt. So he brings the best fighters from the kitchen squad, Poe and Azolu, for backup. They've still got time before Hermes' deadline, but they're jumping the gun. Il makes his way over to Doris's troops, and pretty soon the two groups meet up and head into the forest together. And get this, Doris didn't just show up, he brought his entire asterisk battalion. Dude is taking this super seriously, but for Il this is actually bad news. This is total overkill. Over 500 soldiers. Well, Nidraki, you're not exactly a pushover, right? Il's just trying to hype himself up. After trekking deep into the forest, for who knows how long, the ground suddenly starts shaking like crazy. Il gulps. That's it? It's coming? Sweet. Time to loosen up. Doris does a quick stretch and hops down from his ride. Just then, Nidri comes crashing through the trees and reveals itself, letting out a roar that echoes everywhere. Nidri's weird roar makes Doris frown. So asterisk, that's asterisk the marble pattern beast. But man, I feel like I've seen it somewhere. Doris looks like he's trying to place it. He's definitely run into Nidrake before. Il jumps in to cut him off. Don't all beasts kind of look the same, though? Haha, yeah, I guess so. Luckily, Doris is super easy to fool. All right, I'll take care of this thing. Just make sure you tell the commander what I did." And with that, Doris just charges in by himself. "Oh, you know I will. I'll give the commander a full detailed report." Il gets this little smirk on his face. Next thing you know, Doris and Nidri are going at it, and every time they clash, there are these insane, earth-shaking booms. The ground is cracking, and rocks are flying everywhere. "My hero, when are we going to do something? At this rate, that oaf is actually going to beat Nidri," Rachel whispers from Il's arms. But Il's eyes go wide. He never thought Doris would pull a move like this, using his own soldiers as meat shields to take Nidri's hits while he stays totally safe. But right when the fight is getting super intense, some soldier comes running up, totally panicking and screaming that another beast is attacking. This completely blows up Il's plan. Wait, isn't this Nidri's turf? Like it's a rule of nature, beasts don't just invade each other's territory. A second later, the ground rips open, and this giant worm thing erupts out. That's Cimabue. Rachel knows it right away and yells, "What is that asterisk thing doing here?" Il roars in frustration. But it wasn't just that one. All the top dog beasts from all over the forest start popping up one by one. This is so not part of the plan, Doris knows he's toast, so he immediately orders a full retreat. Meanwhile, Rachel's getting super stressed. "My hero, what's the play? Gotta keep Doris here no matter what." Il knows exactly what's at stake. If Doris bails, he's the one who's gonna end up dead. He takes a few deep, shaky breaths to get a grip, and then slowly says a few words. "Ludren combat technique. First form." "Huh, what are you even talking about?" Doris is totally lost, but not even a second later, Il's fist slams right into his gut. "Cancel that order. We are not retreating." Il suddenly bellows. "Listen up, everyone. Fight, like your life depends on it. There's no turning back. The only ones who get to party at the victory feast are the ones who make it out alive." His shout, totally cuts through the chaos of the forest. Meanwhile, Doris, who just got rocked, is lost in thought. So when do demons get the most ticked off? When they get beat up? Nah. Or when they lose in some big leadership battle? Still a no. It's when they get betrayed by humans they see as total insects. He was actually nice to him, and he still dared to backstab him. Doris is so mad he's about to completely lose it. All he wants is to rush over and just rip Il into a million pieces. Il. A red light just explodes from Doris's eyes, and he's got only one thought on his mind. Wreck Il. Music. Doris commits and unleashes his ultimate secret move, the Demon Bloodline's second stage bloom. This is a crazy skill where you burn your own life force for a massive power boost. Il is completely shook, and even Rachel is yelling at him to bail, like right now. But Doris's attack is just wild and super deadly. His whole battle aura just explodes outward from him, and this beast, a Cimabue that was near Doris, gets music, instantly wiped out. Luckily, Il was far enough away that he didn't get totally wrecked, but Doris's rage hasn't chilled out one bit. "I'm gonna tear you to shreds." At this super critical moment, Il remembers he's still got his two aces in the hole, Popo and Azalu. Where are they? Rachel looks super worried. Looks like they got dragged into the Cimabue's den. Hearing that news, Il's stomach just drops, which means he has to take down Doris all by himself, a mission that's pretty much impossible. But music right then. Doris's shaky body suddenly coughs twice, and blood starts trickling from his mouth. This makes Il realize in a flash that Doris's insane technique must come with some seriously brutal side effects. So Il immediately just bolts. "Rachel, quick, tell me what other monsters are around here." 11 o'clock. If you keep booking it, you'll hit the ogre habitat. Ogres are super strong, with a power level usually over 30,000. But for Doris, who's currently all powered up in his second stage form, they're basically like roadkill he can just swat away. And just like that, one's running and one's chasing, and this whole thing goes on for about 10 minutes. Doris is starting to lose his patience, so he just stops dead in his tracks and unleashes the third stage of his bloom of blossom. Instantly, music, insane waves of power just start pouring out of his body. But right then, Doris gets this super sharp pain in his chest, and he starts coughing like crazy, spitting up mouthfuls of fresh blood. Rachel can totally sense that. His demon power is totally tanking. What's happening? Music. Am I already gassed? That chase must have completely drained me. It hits him just how screwed he is. Doris immediately turns and runs. Hey, where do you think you're going, buddy? Just you wait. Once I get my strength back, you are so done. But maybe his stamina is just totally shot. Doris only gets a few steps before Il catches up. You're not getting away. Il clenches his fist, pouring all his mana into it. Ludren combat technique, 7th form, destruction's shockwave. But to music, his surprise, even though he's totally gassed, Doris still manages to catch his strongest attack. Both of their powers are just smashing against each other in the air, like they could split the earth open any second. But right then, some random power jumps into the fight and sends him flying. Crap. What's happening? Totally confused, he quickly looks up to see what's going on, and he just sees Doris clinging to Hermes' leg, totally begging, "Please save me, Commander." But all he gets in response is this intense, demonic power blasting from Hermes. "Shut up, Doris. How stupid are you to get beat this bad by some human?" Doris goes quiet, real fast. Seeing his chance while they're distracted, Il rushes forward in a flash, just like we agreed. At this music moment, I have officially taken down a battalion commander. The second he says it, Il's kick slams right into the back of Doris's head. I mean, he's not technically wrong. Hermes' huge lips split into a massive grin. Huh, how interesting. Music. She just starts cracking up uncontrollably. Later in the office, Hermes asks, "I told you to defeat a battalion commander, and this is the way you did it." Hey, I literally tried everything I could think of, but I didn't expect to make the troops go so crazy. After hearing Il's side of the story, Hermes just busts out laughing. "What in the world is going on in that head of yours to come up with this stuff? I'd love to just crack it open and see." Il freezes up when he hears that. "Please, hold back on the curiosity. I'd be super music grateful." Hermes can tell Il is totally using a loophole in her words, but since it's his first time, she grudgingly admits that he cleared the mission. "I don't like this. Don't let it happen again." Il can only nod like a little yes man. "Yes, my lord. Thank you so much." Back at Popo's place, Il just collapses on the floor. Phew, I seriously thought I was a goner. Today was absolutely exhausting. Every single second felt like I was walking on eggshells. By the way, what was that power-up thing Doris used? It seems like some kind of special demon fighting style. We could probably ask that supervisor about it. Hearing them talking, Popo, who's just been chilling at home, pokes its head out and makes a little sound like, "Hey, music. Hey, Popo, you worked hard, too. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you better." After hearing that, Popo chirps all excitedly, basically saying, "It's all good. Oh, you're so cute." Il just keeps petting Popo's head. Speaking of which, I kinda feel bad about Doris. He treated me pretty decent, and then I just totally played him in the end. For real, 'cause you don't look the least bit guilty to me. Rachel gives him the death stare. "No, I am so sorry." Il tries to hide his face, but you can totally see him smirking. Music. Hey, you're smiling, aren't you? Move your hands. After totally wrecking Doris, Il skyrockets to level 420, and his power level hits a crazy 13,936 points. Awesome. Music. Let's keep this vibe going and push on. Let's grab a drink to celebrate. Rachel brings over a huge mug of beer to kicking Doris's butt. 3 days later, at the crack of dawn, Il shows up at the training grounds super early, like a whole half hour before Ludren. "Yo, Ludren, you're here?" "Yep. Congrats on taking out Doris." "Thanks." Il casually walks over, using the moment to ask, Ludren, you know anything about battle aura?" Ludren closes his eyes, thinking for a sec, then nods. "The timing's a little soon, but since it's you, it should be cool." Honestly, Ludren was planning to teach him about battle aura way later on, 'cause that stuff is seriously dangerous. If you mess with battle aura without a solid base, it can totally wreck your body. Ludren starts breaking down how battle aura works. Battle aura is basically split into 2 types. First, you've got the physical kind of battle aura that follows set moves. Music. Then there's the non-physical kind, which is more like a free-flowing energy with no set pattern. Compared to the normal stuff, the non-physical battle aura is way rarer, and that bloom of blossom thing Doris used, that was the non-physical type. From what Il could figure out, the first kind is like an attack move, and the second is like a power-up. Ludren keeps going. Evolution form is a super old combat skill. Music. Anyone who can tap into demon energy can learn it, but hardly anyone uses it because the side effects are absolutely brutal. Il gets lost in thought. Wait, could I learn this evolution form thing too? I've got some kind of dark magic in me. Right. But Ludren explains it's just asterisk in asterisk, his body not something he's making himself. So that shouldn't be a problem, right? And hey, if things go sideways, we still have Lady Ableson here. Il is dead set on learning this technique, even knowing how risky it is. Ludren just holds his head, thinking it over for a long time. So Will straight up kneels and grabs Ludren's leg. If you don't teach me, I'm toast. You know what Commander Hermes is like. She could throw me into a duel with a regiment commander tomorrow. After all his desperate begging, Ludren finally caves. But get ready, 'cause this could literally kill you. Got it? Every second I'm here is a gamble with my life, anyway. All right then, let's do this. Meanwhile, in the underground prison of the Galen Empire's cathedral, a bloody, beaten-up guy is hanging in front of the Pope, its Ocel Geffen. Since he botched the mission to rescue the saints, he's now a wanted man. His cracked lips are shaking. The Pope? Is it starting again? Another round of fun? Just more pain. They're calling penance. The Pope just nods, like he gets it. I'll give you one chance to make up for your screw-up. The Pope's words are so sick, they make him want to puke. But Ocel isn't ready to die yet. What kind of chance? Kill Ableson Marriott. The Pope's face, music, goes ice cold. Geffen's like, did I hear that right? What did you just say? Why? This is insane. Kill the candidate for sainthood. What's in it for you? The Pope doesn't answer, just tells him he doesn't need to know why. Geffen just shakes his head. I can't take this mission. The glutton in the Black Castle. There's no way I can handle him. Hearing that, the Pope's harsh look totally softens up. Don't worry, we'll make our move when the glutton isn't around. Plus music. I'm sending 3 knights to back you up. So this time you better not fail Geffen. On the road to glory, failure is not an option. Meanwhile, somewhere else, after trying evolution form for the first time, Il is foaming at the mouth and collapses like barely breathing. Lucky for him, Ludren calls for Ableson. Are you two out of your minds? Making a human try the combat move that's literally made for demons. Il said he felt okay, and that the leftover demon energy in his body would eventually fade. Ableson shoots Ludren a look that could kill. Are you some kind of cleric now? You're not an expert. How could you possibly say it's safe? If we don't do something, Il's chance of making it is less than 1% before. She had wrapped up and sealed all the demon energy inside him, but now it's all been let loose. In a situation like this, Ableson has only one play, to totally fuse the demonic power in Il's body with his music, actual flesh. This is a whole different ball game from before, when the demonic power was just hanging out inside him. We're talking a complete rewrite of what it means to be human, something that should be totally impossible. I'm going to use holy power to hold back the demon energy, then spread it out super evenly, tweaking the levels in every part of his body until it's at a concentration he can handle. Is that even possible? Ludren's face gets super serious. I honestly don't know. I've never tried this, and it's not like there's a rule book for it. There's also a chance the demon energy will fight back against the holy power and go nuts. Ableson grabs Il's hand. But whatever, we don't have a choice. We have to at least try. The second she says that, a crazy, bright golden light just explodes and lights up everything, and this insane holy power starts pouring out of Ableson and into Il. 3 days later, Il groans and his eyes flutter open. Ugh, what happened to me? Before he can even sit up, Poe and Rachel are all over him. You're awake. You're finally awake. Our hero is back. Rachel is staring right at Il. My lord, hero, are you okay? I'm fine, Il says, his voice super weak. The last thing he remembers is learning evolution form, but his body seems totally fine. Il pulls up his stats screen like ASAPA, and just as he thought his worst nightmare came true. That random box symbol that popped up on his screen a little while ago, it now says demon energy. I'm so screwed, Rachel. How can a hero even have demon energy? A little bit after Il wakes up, Hermes and Ludren show up 'cause they heard what happened. See, told you he'd wake up. Hermes gets the whole story from Ludren, and is like super into it. You tried to flip demon energy into human power with a wild idea like that. Why didn't you tell me? Hermes' voice gets all low and serious. I guess there's a reason humans call her Saint Tess. Keeping you alive through all that. How about I give you a little boost? And just like that, Hermes' mouth stretches into this creepy grin as she walks closer, step by step, unleashing her magic. The second Il tries to back away. A crazy amount of magic power just floods his body. The pain is insane, and everything starts to go black. Don't worry, Ludren. He'll be fine. It's cool. Just let him sleep. He should feel honored for real, and with that super weird comment, Il totally passes out. The Demon Lord is calling for me. I gotta bounce, Ludren. There's something I need you to handle. Like in a flash, 3 days go by since Hermes dipped, and luckily, the knocked-out Il gets better super fast. It's all thanks to Apson. She's been taking crazy good care of him this whole time. Thanks, Lady Apson. Don't thank me. It was your own will that pulled you through. Then Apson gets all quiet and is like, "You're my only hope." That comment just leaves Il totally confused, but Apson won't say anything else. Today's treatment is done. I gotta go, Lady Apson. Man, why does she keep saying such weird stuff? What is she not telling me? After Apson takes off, Il immediately tracks down Ludren and asks to get back to training. You sure you're good to go? Ludren looks at him all worried. Lady Apson said it's fine, as long as I don't go crazy with the magic. As Il talks, Ludren's mind is already somewhere else. It's been 3 days since Commander Hermes left. This meeting at the Demon Lord's castle happens every year, but for some reason I've got a super bad feeling about it this year. Ludren. Ludren. It takes Il shouting his name a couple of times for him to snap out of it. You've been crazy busy lately, huh? Since you're handling all the Legion commander's duties and stuff. Anything I can do to help Ludren just shakes his head. It's all good. The commander will be back soon, anyway, so don't trip about me. Just focus on getting yourself better. Hearing that, Il gets all serious and bows deep. Yes, sir. I get it. Seeing his happy face, Ludren starts thinking again. Il has definitely gotten stronger, even if he hasn't noticed it himself. Is this like an evolution from his body, getting used to the demon energy? Maybe his body is leveling up as it adapts to the demonic power. Just as he's thinking about why Ludren's face just freezes, this is holy power. Here in the Demon Army's 3rd Legion headquarters, the Black Giant. Star Ludren is, for real, sensing holy power. Yeah, Saint in training Apson is here, but what he's feeling right now is definitely not hers. Somebody else is hiding holy power. There are 3. No 4 of them hiding their holy power. If Ludren wasn't like super sensitive to this stuff, he probably wouldn't have even noticed. Something was off. Looks like we've got trouble. Ludren's sudden comment totally throws Il off. What trouble? No time to explain. Stay put. And leaving Il just standing there completely stunned, Ludren bolts in a specific direction. Maybe they're trying to stay hidden. The intruders are moving slow. This infiltration is going way too smoothly. Is it 'cause the glutton isn't around Geffen? Unlike the chill night, Geffen is all business this time. Keep your voice down. The glutton might be gone, but there's another monster in this castle they call the Red Nightmare. And right as he says that, Ludren shows up and cuts them off. The invaders are 4 humans in black hoods, and they're totally shocked to see Ludren just pop up out of nowhere. That's him, the Red Nightmare. This guy's demonic power is off the charts. Everyone, be super careful. The leader Geffen immediately starts barking orders. Lucas Nell, go find St. Apson. Orca, you and I are taking on the Red Nightmare together. Looking at those eyes, Ludren can't help but frown. That guy is at least division commander level. Osel Geffen. He's totally lost in the sauce. You can feel division commander level magic coming off him. Their target's gotta be rescuing Apson. Since they're on such a big mission, they must have brought their A-team. And the other 3 are at least at the company commander level. Seriously, Osel Geffen alone is a huge pain to deal with. But luckily just then Il's voice pipes up from behind. Ludren, this looks pretty serious, so I came running. Even though Ludren is like, didn't I tell you to stay put and wait for me? On the inside, he's actually super grateful. Listen up, Il. They're after the Saint. As Ludren talks, he yanks off his necklace and throws it to him. Take the Saint and get out of here now. Use this necklace as proof to call in the top brass from our unit. Got it. Il nods, no hesitation. At the exact same time the humans start to make their move, Geffen and Ludren get into a crazy fight. Stop that guy. If this thing blows up, this is about to get real messy. 2 knights are instantly on my tail. You can't just take the Sentess without the commander's permission. Just then, Ludren slams his fist into the ground. Ludren combat technique, 7th form, explosion, shockwave. The second his fist hits the ground, just erupts with a massive boom. That was my cue. All thanks to Ludren. I managed to bolt and make a beeline for Ableson's room. And right then, the hero system totally glitches into view. Alert evil villains are trying to take out Ableson Marriott. As the hero, you have a duty to protect this candidate, Saintess. Objective, protect Ableson Marriott. Reward, 1,000 hero points. Evil villains trying to take out Ableson Marriott. Seriously, no matter how I look at this, the whole thing feels off. That crew is probably a rescue team from the Holy Galen Empire, so aren't they supposed to be the good guys? And that reward is ridiculously high, a whole 1,000 hero points for this. I shake my head, trying to focus, and bust into the Saintess's room. Humans. They're back. It's the same ones from last time. We have to get out of here, fast. Since I'm holding Ludren's necklace, the minotaurs guarding the Saintess actually don't try to stop me. The invaders are here by Ludren's command. We will defend this place to the death and stop anyone from getting in human, take the Saintess, and run now. Things were getting intense, so I just sweep Ableson up into my arms. Sorry, no time to be polite. Meanwhile, at the Demon Army's 3rd Legion, HQ Commander Royal is in the middle of a meeting with his officers. There are 2 commanders posted at the Black Castle, and they each have 5 battalion commanders. But since Doris was killed in action, they're down to just 9. In the middle of the briefing, a goblin bursts in, totally panicked. Emergency, a human showed up with Ludren's necklace. He's saying other humans are attacking the castle to hunt down the Saintess. What is going on? Totally confused, Royal goes out to see me. This commander could totally pass for a human. Wait a sec. I've seen him before. He's that high-level demon from when they were picking Doris's replacement. Explain everything. Now. I pull out Ludren's necklace and give him the whole crazy story. After listening, Royal just looks completely baffled. Humans want to kill the Saintess. How is that even possible? But the very next second, his eyes go wide, like he heard a ghost, and he screams, "Everyone get down." And sure enough, 2 dark shapes just drop out of the sky. They were going straight for the Saintess. Royal immediately tries to cast a spell to freeze them, but they're just too far away. He wasn't going to make it. Just like the hero quest said, these guys weren't here to rescue Ableson. They were here to kill her. Their sharp blades whistled through the air, ready to cut through anything. Ludren combat technique, 7th form, explosion, shockwave. At the last possible second, I slam into the attackers, stopping them cold.